And we are back.
We're back.
I need to center your camera. When you go live on TikTok, you're not actually centering the frame.
Right.
So I set up and then forget that you have to move.
Right, for the microphone.
Yep. All right.
All right.
It's Wednesday. We're back, bitches. Here to give opinions. We are not professionals. Just giving you what you want to hear, the way that we want to deliver it. And if you don't like it, tough shit.
Sorry, guys. I got signed out of the thing for the emails. I got to sign in real quick.
Peaches has some things that she wants to go over, but she's trying to do whatever she's trying to do. I'm moving this room back around, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah, we either need to try to get one of those walls in here to put over this so that I can move you back in front of me, but I don't like looking off to the side.
Right.
The only other option is literally to move the monitors and put the cameras over here so that while I'm talking to you, we're looking at each other, and that might be the easier move. But Honey Bunny said, are you guys interested in captions? We actually can't do captions while we're live. I don't know why it doesn't do it, but it doesn't do it.
All right. Dope. So that's up. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that thing, dude. It wasn't working yesterday either.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
That's why I asked you to delete that program.
Well, I looked at that thing, so.
Let's log in and see what's going on. Guys, bear with us. I'm going to give you to Peaches while she gets her notebooks together.
Oh, I already have it up.
Dope.
Okay.
Do your thing, love.
So, I love it when you call me love. Where did I get my phone case? Guys, okay, so before we even get into it, I have to show this off. Look at this. It says Mrs. Burgett. Stop it. I was so excited. Every day I was like, I can't believe it's not here yet. And then the day it was supposed to be here, I kept asking Chris, is the mail here yet? What time does my mail get here? Between 12 and 2, like every 30 minutes, I'm walking outside and checking the mailbox. All right, so as most of you know, I am currently working on writing a self-help journal. And I am going to give you a little insight into what's going on in here. One of the things that I want to do in this journal is really break down emotions and the differences between those emotions. Words nowadays don't have the same meaning, and across the board for everybody, they have a different definition for things. And today, the two emotions that I was researching was shame and guilt. So shame is, and this is from Oxford Dictionaries. Shame, a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. Distress is extreme anxiety, sorrow, or pain. And consciousness is the state of being awake and aware of one's surroundings. Shame is a reactive emotion. Guilt, on the other hand, is proactive. From Oxford Dictionaries, guilt is the fact of having committed a specified or implied offense or crime. In psychological terms, guilt is an emotion human beings feel after committing an act that negatively impacts others. The difference between shame and guilt is I did something wrong. I recognize that my actions caused X, Y, and Z. Shame is I am bad. It's internalizing whatever just happened, and it adds on to you're worthless, you're a piece of shit, all of the confirmations of the negative things in your mind. It is easier to feel shame versus guilt because guilt requires accountability. And then I wrote down, one could go as far to say that shame is perception while guilt is reality.
What? Still not working? Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. I'll research it and figure it out.
Sorry, I thought I was muted. I'm not, apparently. I didn't mean to interrupt you just now.
I mean, that was it. So I think it's very important to recognize emotions and break down what they mean and what you feel in you, because saying I feel shame for doing this to you versus I feel guilt now has two different meanings, because shame is a very selfish emotion to experience.
Elaborate on that one.
I just did.
Do it again. Because I'm trying to tech support while you're doing your thing. Because unfortunately, I can't do the bot thing while we're not online because the bot won't work if you're not online. So it's not like I can do all of this offline. It's fucking stupid.
Okay, so Do you want me to do this again?
Just the last part of it. The shame being a selfish emotion.
Okay, well, all of that was tied into, well, guilt is I did something. I recognize that I did this. I am the reason X, Y, and Z happened. Shame is the I am bad. That's the internalizing of I'm a piece of shit. This is just confirmation. So it's easier to feel shame versus guilt because guilt requires accountability. So I could go as far to say that shame is perception while guilt is reality.
That's actually pretty good.
Sneak peek into my self-help journal, guys.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Fallon asked when will the my husband's got me shirt drop. I haven't even put that in yet, but we do a drop once a month, so it will drop this month. My husband's got me will drop, and the other shirt will be.
I hope you take it personal.
I hope you take it personal. I don't understand why this looks the way that it does. I'm gonna have a fucking meltdown today. What's gonna happen? Holy shit, that's a huge super chat.
Holy shit.
All right. Floob Goob
Floob goob.
sent us a super chat that says, this doesn't even begin to say thank you for everything you've done, but y'all are amazing and help me be a better man and even a better partner. Thanks again, guys. Well, thank you for the super chat. That's awesome.
I love that your life has improved.
Proof that you don't have to be labeled a professional or have letters after your name to fucking help somebody in need.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that the actual licensed professionals have not given the same amount of help to certain people in years of therapy versus months of listening to us.
Yeah, we've heard that quite a bit, actually.
We have.
And we've had other therapists come on who are like, you guys are fucking killing it. This is exactly what we do in our therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Tis what tis. Just a little salty because I don't like stupid fucking comments. My stupidity meter is running on fumes today, guys. So if I'm an asshole, you deserved it.
I'm here for your energy. I love you.
I love you too.
I saw somebody say, turn my fan to the right. You can still see the vape. The fan's for TikTok. TikTok and I don't have a very healthy relationship.
That's because people like to flag your content.
I came across a TikTok this morning as I'm half awake making my coffee of a woman with her ass cheeks hanging out doing squats. I'm like, bro, I can't vape on TikTok, but this is allowed? Okay.
Too much. So, after doing the camera thing that we've done for the last few days, between your woman segment, then doing the Nikita interview, then doing your woman intro, then doing episode 43 at home,
Yeah.
2 podcasts, I am 100% buying more cameras
Smart.
because this is taxing.
It's a lot.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So, what are we doing today? Are we doing emails? Are we going to talk about stuff?
I mean, what do you want to talk about?
I actually have stuff, but I think we should probably save it for Sunday for the hot topics thing.
Okay.
There was a baseball player that was accused of some shit, and he somehow got text messages from the accuser, like sending nasty texts like about what was happening to her friends. And all of that's coming to light after he was kicked off of his baseball team. So I really want to talk about that, but I didn't have time to research it because I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning and started editing, and I got here like 15 minutes before we had to go live, and I had to fuck with everything to get it set back up. So
Yeah.
I'm doing the thing, guys.
I think you really are, yeah.
I hate it.
So for those of you who don't know, we now have coffee.
Oh, yeah.
To Be Better Brew. I've been making it every single morning and sipping it on my morning routine.
Wait until the rest of it comes. We have like 10 bags on the way.
I'm excited.
And it's all different flavors.
Yeah.
You know that this is a static image on OBS, but if I wanted to get somebody's attention, I could do this. Now it's a GIF. Yep. Yep. I could have counted like 1, 2, 3, click, 1, 2, 3, click, 1, 2, 3, click. There it is. Get your attention. It's like a giant neon. Oh man.
How hungry are we?
I'm pretty hungry.
Are you hungry, Steve? Understandable. Should I stop asking?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Listen, that makes me feel special and a part of the gang, like
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo.
I had him muted this entire time.
Aw.
Oh no.
Get fucked, Steve. You don't get to say shit.
Okay.
Man,
Man, you feel the love here today?
Listen here, new guy.
but it's two opposite of the spectrums of love, right? Me going, oh no, I'm so sorry you guys missed Steve. And
Yeah.
you're like, get fucked, Steve.
Right?
That's
okay.
the difference in bromance and like romance, right?
Yeah,
like
it is.
You get to
No.
have like a normal relaship, like empathy, and like
Right.
dudes like get fucked.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll catch my love in the chat.
You
will.
definitely
You
will.
will.
Yeah. Right there it is. Poor Steve.
See?
Aw, Steve.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Okay.
Give Steven a sign with food or no food, so you know. We just need to get him like an open close sign for his desk.
I was going to say we can
Yeah.
get the
No
angry
food.
octopus
Yeah, that would work
to
too.
flip in and out.
Kimmy got me a little stand for my desk. I didn't bring it. It says Chaos Coordinator.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tiffany Kennedy said, "Are you selling coffee, beans, or grounds? I want to buy. We have both. We even have K cups. Although I don't think they're called K cups. I think they're called something else."
Are we by chance in the mood for first watch?
No.
Okay.
Nope. I'm never in the mood for first watch.
Okay.
You fell out of love with the Hacienda hash.
Because that was the only thing that I could get there, and after eating it for like 2 years, I'm good on that. We also have decaf. Yes, we do have decaf.
Sweets.
Sarah Morgan said, "I emailed to be on the women's segment."
You emailed to be on the women's segment?
That's what Sarah said.
All right, dope. Thank you. I am at about 350 emails at this point, and I am currently booking, and I am almost booked throughout October into November. So I will get to your email. It is a process. You want to do Sweet Steiner, babe?
No.
Okay. Do you want to pick out food?
You can get whatever you want. I'll wait until we're done.
Are you
Because
sure?
I don't want to eat on live stream, and I don't want my food to get cold. So,
Okay.
but I would like you to get me a drink if you're going to order food.
Don't tell me you're. Oh my gosh, I want Indian food. Oh, it opens in 14 minutes. Okay. I went from being absolutely devastated to like, I can do that.
Devin Helm said, "Hoodies, blanket ordered. I'm behind." Yes, the order has put in. We got 50 of them pre-ordered, and I ordered 3 extras as potential giveaway items in the future. But I don't know when they'll be done yet. So, but they should ship by the end of the month.
Talking about the blanket hoodies?
Yes.
I'm so excited for those to go out.
Do you want to plug your women's segment real quick and tell them what it is that you're looking for?
Yeah, we can do that. So,
That they need to be in Florida.
okay. So, I have created a women's segment. It is called The Garden, and I am looking for women to be on the segment. You can email in peaches@tobebetter.com or interview@tobebetter.com. Either way, it will get to me. We are filming in studio, so you will have to either be in Florida, be in Florida, or be willing and able to travel to Florida. Florida. I don't even know how I said it the first time. Have to be willing and able to travel to Florida. We do work around schedules, so if you can't be here until December, I will book you for December.
Yep.
There is a 12-hour hold on pending set dates. So if I email you back at 8 a.m. and say I have October 30th available at 3 p.m., you have 12 hours to respond to me to say, yes, I'm available, or no, another day would work better. After that 12 hours is up, I will be offering that time and date to somebody else. I am very much looking forward to talking to you all. The topics I'm looking to talk about are really anything. I want to get life stories out there, experiences. My goal is to help women feel less alone in life. That I'm just going to say what I said in the intro. We as women are different beings, and we all live different lives based on cognitive biases, experiences, and traumas. We all have in common the one filter of being a woman, though. So I want to get as many women on this segment as I can get to be a guiding light when there are women in darkness.
You know that I could actually just play the segment. I could play the clip, the intro,
Really?
I could.
That's a lot. A lot of emotional damage.
Yeah. Emotional damage. No, don't do it.
You can if you want to.
You want me to just put a link in the content down there, so in the chat, so that people want to step out real quick and watch it, they can?
Yeah, you can. I don't like watching myself.
No?
So.
Let's see if I can figure out how to do this without it popping up and playing. There. I just posted it in the chat for everybody. Make it easier, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bread. Doing bread.
All right, so what are we doing?
We're doing emails. Well, I'm currently ordering Indian food.
Somebody asked if it could be a Zoom call instead of in person. Depending on the person, maybe, but we built a studio to have people here. Mm-hmm. And have you seen Joe Rogan do a whole lot of Zoom calls?
I don't want to do Zoom calls. I want Zoom calls to be very much a last resort.
Right. If there's somebody's like, yeah, I've got, I am a specialist in something, and I've got 1 million followers, but I'm booked out for the next 2 years in speaking engagements, and the only way that I can be on your show is if you can do a Zoom call. We'll do a Zoom call.
Right.
But otherwise, let's get you on the podcast. Let's get you in the studio so that we can have conversations.
Okay.
Conservative Convict said, I was going to suggest a men's segment, but I can see that going bad real quick. I'm curious as to why that would go bad. Although I have zero interest in doing that, I am curious as to why it would go bad.
Oh, yeah. So Julie rocks. She said, get hankies if you're going to go watch it, meaning the intro to the garden. Definitely have something on standby. I've had both men and women tell me that they cried watching that. So
I plead the fifth.
We're going to get us some emails?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, I'm ready. Learning to be accountable.
Steve, you got a notepad over there?
Nope.
You know, open notepad and timestamp with the time that we're running the content. So right now it says, oh, that's not going to work. Never mind. We'll have to address this afterwards. Go ahead, babe. I was trying to make this easier on AJ for after we're done, but it's not showing the time on our screen of how long we've been running.
Alrighty. Learning to be accountable. Hi, I'm currently 38 weeks pregnant. Just recently, I moved back in with my unborn child's father after being apart for 3 months. I hope you include why you've been apart for 3 months. Moved back in. Okay. I hope there's an elaboration. I've used your podcast a lot to help aid me in my relationship with him. I come to realize that a lot of the times I was very selfish and only worried about my own feelings. It has caused us to break up and come back together, often due to me leaving. All right, there's the elaboration. I get really scared of confrontation expressing my feelings, so I just leave. I am now in the process of forcing myself to have these hard conversations. Last night, I noticed he was getting attention from a female about a sexual topic, and it ate me up, and I broke down. He came into the room, seeing me like this, and asked all the right questions, and all I could tell him was, I don't know, and crumbled. He went as far as asking what may have triggered it to just holding me as I cried. When I tried speaking about it, it physically pained me. My chest got tight, and my throat had a ball in it that would just grow bigger.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
This doesn't make any sense to me. So she's somebody that's quick to just bounce out, right?
Right.
Is that what she said? Okay,
Yeah.
so she leaves. And then he was getting attention from a female.
About a sexual topic.
Okay. Which is a fucking problem. What do you mean, what triggered it? You triggered it. Why would you ask her that? You were getting sexual attention from somebody that's not your woman. Fuck do you mean what triggered it?
So I need an elaboration on that.
This is the stupid shit that pisses me off when
Yeah.
people send emails.
Yeah.
How did she not look him in the face and go,
What the
you
fuck?
fucking did it.
Yeah.
You triggered me.
Well, what's the sexual topic? You know, if he's a body piercer talking to a female about a downstairs piercing.
That's not a sexual topic. That's you
Right.
talking about your job.
But what's the definition of the sexual topic? Because like I was saying earlier when I was doing the definition of emotions, people have different definitions for everything now. And nobody is really ever on the same page without conversation. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It's still not a sexual conversation, though.
I know that.
There's not a way to, yeah. There's also not, there are conversations when you are in a relationship with somebody that should be off limits to the opposite sex, period. Mm-hmm. Like if Steve came in and tried to tell me what was going on in his sex life, I don't want to fucking hear. That's none of my business, bro. You keep that shit between you. Not that he's ever done that. Mm-hmm. But I would stop that. I don't want to hear that. If Sean tried to tell me about his sex life, I don't want to fucking hear that. It's none of my business, dude. What you do in your life is yours. That's called private for a reason. Don't need to know that shit.
Right.
So if he is in a relationship with this woman and they are having conversations about anything that is sexual, even if it's a TV show, I got to be honest, I'd probably be like, whoa, why are we having this conversation?
Yeah.
Why are you talking to me about sex that you saw on TV?
Yeah.
Because you're trying to engage me in something that you know is something that is inappropriate to be having a conversation about. Yeah.
I knew in the end that the issue wasn't completely resolved. I still felt the way I did, with the side of relief that he came to me and showed how much he cared. He did it perfectly, it felt like. In the end, I waited until he fell asleep last night and wrote him a note because he deserves that full communication from me. I told him why I felt the way I did and what I wanted from it, and that I still loved him through my insecurities. This morning, now I feel like a child. I ask myself why I can't just speak these things, or if this may be something he'll ever get sick of over time because I can't overcome them.
No, you can. You can overcome them.
Right.
Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right.
Correct.
So.
Two points I'm going to hit. When anybody loves anybody and the person that they are in love with is making active efforts daily to be working on the things that are detrimental to the relationship, people will put up with a lot of things for a very long time because there's the action following the I'm sorries.
Right. Change.
Right. If that is not happening, he will 100% get sick of it. It is the same battle over and over again, and he always knows it's going to be a losing one. You sat down and you wrote a letter because you couldn't verbally communicate what was going on. You did that instead of packing up and leaving.
Right. It's change.
It's change.
It's growth.
That
Baby
is,
steps.
Right. That is a step in the direction of, like you said, growth. You're fucking doing the thing. You can't beat yourself up for doing something that you deem childish when you wouldn't have done that 2 months ago. You would have just left, which in my eyes is far more childish than actually having the gall to communicate, or the balls. I'm not going to say gall. I feel gall is a very negative. I have a negative side of that. Okay. I say, you have the gall to talk to me like that? Ugh. So I'm just going to use the word balls. You had the balls to sit down and communicate, even though it wasn't a letter of what's going on. And I bet he appreciated the fuck out of that. And I hope he corrected that thing about having that sexual conversation, because that is not okay.
Yeah, I heard all of that. And like, because of my bias on what's being said, there's that. Is he apologizing because you were unhappy? Or is he apologizing because he realized he was out of line? Because there's a difference. Simply saying I'm sorry because that's what you want to hear, or because you're emotional and crying right now, is not the same thing as going, okay, I fucked up. I'm the cause of this. I can't do that again. Like, how did the apology play out? She said that he said all the right things, but like,
what
were the right things?
Right. Was it just comforting?
Was it lip service?
Maybe. Oh, wait, that's not the end of it? Don't click back. Okay, it would have been gone forever. if I click the back button because I've already moved it to the red files.
That's funny.
Okay. Am I taking a step in the right direction, or is this more of a setback because I'm not being verbal in those moments when he's trying? Oh, we answered that. I could have clicked the back button. We would have not missed anything. All right.
Your intro is making people cry.
I told y'all. I cried.
You guys need to give yourself a lot more credit and recognize growth as growth.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, you if you plant a seed, it's not going to be bearing fruit tomorrow. It takes time. And there's going to be things that you're going to do that is going to hinder the growth of these things. So it could take a lot fucking longer. You know what I mean? Like nothing just sprouts overnight. So like she said, she was leaving and running every time there was a problem, which creates a whole lot of issues in the relationship. There's not going to ever be a sense of true security there when that go away, I love you, come back, go away, I love you, come back shit happens. But the fact that she didn't run away and that she did have the conversation, she did express what she needed from him. And then she had a note laid out, even though she's not able to have the conversation yet. Like, there's a lot of growth in that.
There is a lot of growth in that, yeah. I just really struggled to open my fan because I was trying to open it backwards. That's also a good way to teach teenagers to communicate, is writing down, sitting down and writing down. We read an email where a woman said that her mom had a dedicated journal that sat on a nightstand.
Yep.
And her mom would know that she would have a hard conversation, like her daughter was having a hard time communicating something when that journal was sitting on that designated nightstand.
Right.
And they would communicate back and forth through that journal. I don't think there's anything childish about that.
Yeah, that email said that they would send that journal back and forth too. So like they would respond in it.
Yeah,
and it
they
would
would
sit there until somebody picked it up and
they would never have the conversations outside of that journal.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that that's good for people who disassociate.
I agree.
I think it's good for people who have a hard time actively communicating. Some people need more time to process their thoughts because they have a hard time not reacting out of emotion. And when you have that moment to breathe and respond, you're going to have a much more in-depth conversation.
A more honest one.
Without intentionally or unintentionally hurting somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
You ready for the next one?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm going to put them to you because I'm doing something real quick. You have their undivided attention.
All right. Well, y'all know what to do. And I keep seeing people saying that it's funny that I'm using the vape. I mean, using the fan to cover the vape. It's for TikTok. TikTok has issues with vaping, but not all of the plethora of actual damaging things on that platform.
I have so many things to say about that, actually. Stupid.
Makes a lot more sense, right? Now, yeah, it does make sense.
All right. Run a test, and then we can move to the next one.
Oh, my food's on the way. Hell yeah.
Guessing it's not working.
Oh, they confirmed it. No.
Wah, wah.
I was like, it's on the way. I'm going to eat in like 10 minutes. It's going to be another 40 minutes.
Oh, that's rough.
That's
well,
okay.
I made a coffee command. It's just not working. Oh, wait. Nope. Oh, well. There is a coffee command. So it's there, guys, for all of you guys who are working with the bot when the bot decides to finally do its thing. All right, let's go on the next one.
All right. Did you teach me sorcery?
Ooh, yes.
Maybe.
We got into the deep crevasse of your mind.
Hi, Chris and Peaches.
Oh, hey there.
I am a 46-year-old submissive type woman, but have never been able to find someone who understands what that means. I watched the videos you recommended to me a couple of months ago asking how to find a dominant partner. After some thought, I decided to make an online dating profile. I know Chris says meeting people online isn't ideal, but I work from home and not able to get out to meet people.
Can we pause for a minute and talk about that?
What do you want to talk about? Because there's something I want to talk about.
You go first.
Okay. But I work from home and not able to get out and meet people. You certainly can. You're not working from sun up to sundown in your home. We worked from home for a very long time, before the studio and whatnot, and we still made time to go out, have dates, have couple dates, go to gardens, take pictures, have our hobbies.
I would like to do that again, by the way.
Couple dates or hobbies?
D, all of the above.
Okay.
I would like to go and take pictures again. It's starting to cool off.
It is, yeah. Mosquitoes are going to start dying out.
Yeah, fuck those
Fuckers.
things.
I really want to take the kids to the garden, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I work from home and not able to get out and meet people is an excuse. And I bet that it's tied to some sort of depression.
It could be. It could be. It could be. That could be an underlying thing. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. There's It's a lot easier when you're young to make friends, right? Because you're forced into social settings, school, after school programs, karate, little league, dance, whatever, ballerina shit, whatever people do. And then as you become an adult and you go into the workforce and you're actually going to a job every day, 90% of cheating in marriages happen from a relationship that was founded in the workplace.
Correct.
Because that's where people are going to socialize. It's the watering hole. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a normal job and you're working from home, you have to get active in other things: ballroom dancing, church,
book clubs,
going to the library, stay at home,
mom clubs,
single mom clubs, right? Whatever. There's got to be something. And if not, you create that.
Poker nights.
You can absolutely create a social setting where you can meet other people.
Yeah.
The problem is social circles, as you get older, get smaller because you tend to deal with a lot less nonsense. The upside of that is the quality of your social circle gets a lot better as you get older. And the friends that you have that you make as you age are a lot more understanding. They're a lot more mature. They're definitely not going to get you in trouble. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So there's a trade-off that comes with that. But that every time I hear somebody say that they're single and have a hard time meeting people and they're relying on a dating app, it's because it's easy.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It is easy. You can do it on your couch.
We want simplicity. And if you're not willing to put in the work to truly meet and connect with somebody, you're not going to be ready for the rest of it. Because what's going to happen when you have that first fight?
Right.
Or you have a real disagreement about something that's fundamentally different between the two of you that you didn't realize in the beginning because you didn't take the time to truly get to know each other and you smashed already. And it's a lot. That's where I was going with that.
Yeah. Online dating also eliminates the awkward, hey, call me with an emergency so I can leave. If you're done with the conversation, you can literally just leave that person on red and never talk to them again.
People really did that?
I've done that.
I have no problem walking away from a conversation.
I mean, now I don't. When I was a meek person and I wanted to people please, definitely came up with excuses to leave a room. Now I'm overwhelmed. There's too many people. I'll be back.
Aubrey Newton said, my knitting and crochet group on Tuesdays is my only group that tolerate me. LOL, they're a good group. So here's the thought process, just to elaborate on what I was saying. You have a crochet knitting group, which means there are other people in that group who have their own social circles. And this is not one of those things where you'd be like, hey, I'm single, I want to meet people. Tell them that you don't have a whole lot of friends in your life and you're looking to expand your social circles. And if they have a girls' night or they have a movie night or you guys want to go to Carrabba and get bread, that you're willing to go do that. You have to put yourself out and risk the rejection to get reward. It's just all there is to that.
Yeah. I miss my Olive Garden bread nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Carbs.
I love them so much. There was something I wanted to add on, and now I'm thinking about bread, and now I'm also thinking about, can we do ballroom dancing?
Ian was a ballroom dancing instructor, so we could probably learn that. We know people that know people. I don't know if I would want to do that, but
can we try it?
We can dance in the kitchen.
I want to get like really good at it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we actually have to plan this out because you're supposed to lead while dancing, and if I'm the one practicing and you're not, I can't lead.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't allow you to lead. The man in me, not the male, the man in me would not be able to do that.
Right. So let's do one thing of practice, and then we'll just practice that one lesson of practice and get really good at it. Hell yeah. I don't know what to do with my feet.
You can just stand on mine and I'll move you around.
Really?
That's how I plan on teaching our daughter to dance.
Oh my God, stop, I'm gonna cry.
I can dance. I don't know all the steps, but I know enough that if I was in a social setting where I was in a suit and was forced to dance, I could hold my own. Chaotic Thoughts said, "Good morning, to be better tribe." I love hearing that.
Good morning, Chaotic Thoughts. That's okay. Anything before we get back into the email?
One more. Makaya said, man, I hope I said her name right. "I just created a book club because I work from home and don't get that socialization, and I'm starting to get back into my passions reading. My fiance is super supportive of this, and I am excited."
Oh, hell yeah.
Excuse me. I have a book club, so to speak. And the conversations about the books that we read are always in depth because they're not like superficial books. They're always like self-help or business or how to be a better man, better father, that kind of shit.
Excuse me.
And those conversations are, they're some of the better conversations that I get to have in life. Okay.
Okie dokie. I'm an online profile. Oh. In my online profile, I stated my intentions very clearly, using words like traditional, submissive, and dominant. Well, as you can imagine, it turned a few heads. However, many mistook these words to read more like slave master BDSM. Yeah. I would put traditional in my bio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you use submissive
and dominant.
Or dominant. That's exactly the community you're going to get.
100%.
Yep.
I decided to keep to my strict rules of not choosing someone who wanted to talk about sex, who wasn't asking me questions about who I am, and giving only one-word answers. If they didn't answer within 24 hours, they were off the list.
All reasonable.
Well, I think I have met someone. I've been studying your YouTube videos in order to show him the type of woman I am and the type of relationship I want to be in. He admitted that he has never thought about being in his masculine energy before.
Which means one of two things. Means that he is just that motherfucker.
Right.
Because it's not something he's ever had to think about. Or it means he is the exact opposite and now has to learn how to be that motherfucker.
Yeah.
One of those is really good and one of those is a huge red flag for me.
Right. Right. I don't think I've never heard those words strung into a sentence before. Like in that order.
A man having to think about being in his masculine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot for me to process. Okay. He's admitted that he has never thought about being in his masculine energy before, but is open to finding out what that could mean. So far, he has used words like breath of fresh air, and I didn't think a woman like you existed. I knew he was different when he would respond to me with entire paragraphs, not just one or two words, and in a timely manner. If he wasn't able to respond due to life happening around him, he'd communicate that to me so I didn't feel like he's ignoring me. He asks questions about me and my past. He listens to my stories. He remembers things I've told him, and he respects me and my time.
He's engaged. That's super good.
That is really good, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's being respectful. At about the third day of us using the online dating app to our chat, we decided to switch to texting, and we both made our online accounts inactive as neither of us were interested in talking to anyone else.
Respectful. Mm-hmm. Good. They're talking. So they're courting.
They're courting,
and they're exclusively courting.
Right.
That's super healthy. Love that too.
On the fifth day, we were texting during the day, and he started to call in the evenings. That first phone call, which he asked if it was okay to call me, was a simultaneous feeling of nervousness and like, a revival of an old friendship.
Wait, I gotta let that sink in. That's a lot to process.
It is.
She said she was 46.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it's not common for the younger generation to want to talk on the phone. I'm at the cusp of that, right? Like at 43, I remember spending nights on the phone going, no, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up first. You know, being a child, and the puppy love phases of all of that shit. But as an adult, I don't want to be on the phone. But I also rarely text you. Like if we're out doing anything and I get the opportunity to just call real quick, I'm going to call you. So like that whole, it felt like a long lost friend. How did she word that?
Like a revival of an old friendship.
Which means that phone call felt very natural when it happened.
Mm-hmm. There was no awkwardness to it.
Yeah, it says a lot.
There's an awkwardness in conversations when there's a lack of engagement.
Right.
So his engagement over text message transitioned into phone calls. That's dope.
That was well said too.
What was?
The lack of engagement.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. And people will stay on the phone while somebody's doing something else and just sit there. Mm-hmm. And now it's super fucking awkward for both people because like that person knows you're busy.
Right.
And they're still waiting on you to not be busy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Have you ever had a 3-hour conversation with someone and you swear it's only I can't go edit that. Have you ever had a 3-hour conversation with someone and you swear that only 30 minutes have passed? That's what it's like for us.
I know what that's like.
Thank goodness. Because I am so worried that I'm just talking your ear off. You want to know my favorite conversations that we have?
What's that?
When you roll over in bed and you look at me and we talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those conversations last a while sometimes.
Yeah. And next thing we know, we've missed 2 episodes of Son of Anarchy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talk about a flex. That's like an hour episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what it's like for us. We have decided to take things very slowly and have held off meeting face to face just for now so we can concentrate on building a friendship. We don't want to move too quickly with physical intimacy as it gets in the way of the getting to know you phase.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Absolutely, yes, it does.
And let me tell you, that's very refreshing.
Oh, this is the type of shit that tells me that people are truly listening to what we're saying.
Right. And it's working.
Yeah.
People are finding quality people by setting standards and boundaries and being able to communicate those boundaries in a healthy way.
I cannot express how important it is to be able to have a proper conversation with somebody.
A proper conversation is going to get you much farther in life than, for example, shaking your ass on the internet.
Right, but it's more than that because even after you've connected, we have really deep conversations. And we have really stupid conversations.
Skeet.
Wait until y'all see episode 43. I left that whole thing in there. Last night, Steve, she asked me what skeet shooting was.
Okay.
And I was like, pull, boom. She's like, oh, that's not what I thought. I thought, oh, skeet.
Oh, to the windows, to the walls.
Yeah.
Huh?
And I was like, that's a different kind of shooting.
Oh, God.
Different type of skeeting.
It is.
That was a whole conversation. I don't want to ruin it, but it was good. It was good.
Yep.
Darlene said, I feel like I wrote this. I'm basically doing the same thing. First date in a few hours. Good luck on your first date.
Good luck.
Make sure he opens the door for you. And if he doesn't, just stand there. Just look at it. Look at him. Look at it. Look at him. Look at it.
I would make my hands busy with the gesture of get the door. Some people get busy to make it seem like, her hands are full. Let me grab it.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
You'd be like,
Get that neon sign. All right. He admitted that his past traumas are making him wonder if this would be something he could get into. I guess his father had pushed religion on his family when he was a teenager, so to him this feels almost like indoctrination to a cult.
what does? Us? Wait, I don't understand.
Oh, because I skipped it.
Okay.
During those first 5 to 7 days of talking, I sent him your videos to watch, and he did watch the first one. from there, he said it feels like it's an indoctrination into a cult.
Oh, fuck yeah. Love that. I'll be a cult leader. Wait, oh, my glasses are at home. I have.
He has Jim Jones glasses.
No, they're David Koresh glasses. I have 2 pairs of them, and they're actual like prescription.
Yeah.
They're on the nightstand.
No, I know. Those are my favorite
I had
glasses
every
to see
intention of bringing them here so that in the event something like this ever came up, I could play the joke. But they're
And
at
the
home
opportunity
on
has
the
come and
nightstand.
gone.
Yeah, and I missed it. Fuck. Oh well.
I actually have on TikTok, not the Branch Davidian drip. No, I'm so sorry. I know that was a very devastating time in history. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, because of the government.
Yes, because of the government. On TikTok, the subscription, when you join, you're joining the cult.
Yeah, that's what you called it.
That is what I called it, and I've never changed it.
That's funny. Somebody said most cult leaders are in churches, though, so I don't see y'all as cult leaders personally. Well, we're not in a church, but we do consider this a ministry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even if it is I don't know. I think CrossFit is a cult.
Yes, they are very
Because by
aggressive.
definition, they have their own way of dressing. They have their own terminology.
Yeah, they have their own language.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, I mean, it's an appearance. You can call it what you want to call it. Tony Robbins followers would be considered cult followers because they hang on to everything that he says while they're improving their lives.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of something, you could see it that way.
Someone said don't drink the Kool-Aid. We would never force the Kool-Aid. I mean, we might have potlucks.
Yeah.
Fun little potlucks, but there wouldn't be Kool-Aid present. Too sugary.
Jenny said, I like this cult. They have coffee, not Kool-Aid.
True.
It's my kind of cult. Yeah, we will not be drinking the Jim Jones. Besides, if you know anything about history, it was not Kool-Aid. It was Flavor Aid. They didn't want to spend the money.
Correct.
Yes. Which is crazy to me because didn't he have a lot of money himself?
He did buy a whole lot of land in Guatemala.
Right.
Jack said, wait, wasn't there a church in the building they're in before y'all turned it into a studio? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay. Are we back into the email?
Yeah, sure. I think that's funny.
I respect that.
$50 super chat from
Pause
Julie
on.
Rocks. They weren't here for Patreon Live Sunday night. We were definitely at church. That phone call
Yes.
with my mom, my adopted mother, will be live tonight on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So any of you, we actually did a Zoom call. We recorded the whole fucking thing. I got my mom on it because sometimes you have to phone a friend.
A lot to process in that.
Yeah.
A lot to process.
Yep.
I was thinking this morning, and I hit your mom up because I was thinking about compassion and understanding that everybody has a soul, and to the extent I am willing to go with compassion in certain things. And my mind came across Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Super shitty childhood, a lot of bad things happened to him. Not condoning the actions. I do mourn the loss of his soul, though, because he did some really foul shit. An innocent child is manipulated into that. And I was like, okay, so at what point, because like death row and whatnot, those are absolute, like the acts of being a serial killer is absolutely inhumane. And we can't condone that behavior. We also can't just let somebody run amok. So I was like, objectively, like looking at things, how would God respond to something like that of putting a serial killer in the electric chair?
What did she say?
She's like, I'm processing.
So it actually says there's scripture in the Bible that says that if you kidnap somebody and get caught with that person in your possession, that you should be put to death.
Wow.
There is
Okay.
a lot of scripture that is anti-slavery.
Yeah.
There's also scripture that talks about slavery at the time because of indentured servitude. But the whole eye for an eye thing, like there is a process to all of that. The word for kill and the word for murder is different in Hebrew. They are two different words.
Okay.
But when you transcribe them, it comes across as thou shalt not kill. It's thou shalt not murder. So like
Okay.
if you sacrifice a lamb, you're killing the lamb. It's not murder. There's a difference. If you're hunting an elk to eat, technically you're killing it. It's not murder.
Right.
So like there's a lot that goes into that. I'm very curious to see what she says.
Right.
I really enjoy having those kind of conversations with my mom because I always leave with a different perspective than I went in with.
Right.
She's very quick to change my mind with shit. So
It's a lot to process.
I was told that I should text my mom and see if we can get her on a weekly segment for 15 to 30 minutes with a scripture
That'd be dope.
and just have it go live every Sunday morning from not live, but have it pop up on our Sundays.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any content that drops on Sundays. And I was like, I don't know if I want to take on that kind of responsibility right now, dude. I have so much going on in my life that like that's just a lot.
I would love to.
I know,
that.
I would too. So it's now that seed has been planted. So,
Okay. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
There's so much information in life to process.
Yeah.
So much. Okay. Back into the email. I respect that feeling and have told him he doesn't have to watch them if he's not comfortable, meaning us.
Right.
But if he does decide to explore this further, we have you two as a resource. He's also been in what I understand mentally abusive relationships in the past with women who have been in their masculine energy, causing him to lack trust in his own judgments and feel like he is worthless.
You'd be surprised how many men would tell you that.
I believe that. I've read comments.
Yep.
I aim to show him what life could be like with a woman who is embracing her feminine energy and how that can make him feel empowered. Do you feel empowered by me being in my feminine energy?
I feel empowered by you trusting me enough and surrendering the final decision to me.
Okay.
Because I know that it's not about me, it's about our family, and that you trust me enough because I've not done anything that would dishonor us in any way, shape, or form. And like, I've not put you in a position where you've had to worry about anything. So like there is a, I can't think of the word. It solidifies my ability to lead.
Yeah.
It is empowering. There's a lot. There's a lot to that. That's a lot. It's a very long answer to a very short question. And
Okay.
I would
No,
continue, but yes, the answer is yes.
That's a good answer.
There's more to it though, but
Right.
like, yeah.
I'm going to piggyback off of your answer, and I want to add, even if you did make a mistake because you have the final decision making, I would never belittle you for that.
Ever? That's a very strong statement. That's a speaking indefinite.
I think, did I say ever?
You did.
Okay. I don't think I would belittle you.
Okay.
Every scenario coming to my mind, even if there was a disagreement in the conversation leading up to the choice being made of, I think this is a bad idea. And you're like, well, I don't think it is. I'm going to do it. And you do. You have enough self-accountability within yourself to recognize that that fuck up's a fuck up. You don't need me on the same side as your demons going, yeah, you fucked up. It would be a conversation after the fact of, you know, you've processed. I'm sure you would apologize. And at that point, what can we do as a team to not only prevent this in the future, but clean up whatever fallout there is?
Okay, so then now let me ask you this then, because my brain is going 1,000 miles a minute. Does that speak to the character of the man or the lived experience of the woman? Right? Because that's a lot.
Okay.
The character of the man, I have not shown you anything less than.
Right.
Ever. And and I have fucked up. And I've owned it to you immediately. Like, I shouldn't have done this. I made this mistake. Spent way too much money on this. Whatever. Right? But you have had lived experiences where that has been weaponized. There have been men in your life who will make a mistake and be like, yeah, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. And then they would cry.
Yeah.
And they would use their emotional vulnerability in a way to make you guilted into going, it's okay, it won't happen again, and then it happens again.
Right.
So, like, how does that balance? As a woman, how do you differentiate the two?
So, I do think that it speaks a lot to your character as a man because you don't make the same mistake twice.
Okay.
You have
But what if I
also-
did?
Okay. Before I get to that.
Okay.
Never mind. It's gone.
Sorry.
Okay. So if you did make the same mistake twice, then the first time, I would never, I can say this with my full chest, I would never scream at you, tell you that you're fucking stupid, you piece of shit, I can't believe you made this mistake a second time.
Right.
It would definitely be a conversation of I'm disappointed. You know, as a man who learns from his lessons what happened. But again, there would have to be that problem solving because this is it for us. I'm not going to leave because you've made the same mistake a second time. It's going to be a more stern conversation. And there is, like I said, going to be disappointment there. If you weren't the man that you are now, none of that would mean anything to you. But because you are the man that you are, our conversations would be a lot different versus what it would be if you weren't.
Okay, so then let me ask you this then. Dude, my brain is going. I may have had too much caffeine today. So what if you have a man who is like I am, makes that second mistake twice, but the answer is I believed there would be a different outcome. I learned from the first opportunity and I fucked up. Second time, I didn't make the same mistake, but something still happened. At what point is it no longer about mistakes, but lessons, right? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Does that just come down to a conversation?
It would be a conversation, but I would have a follow-up question of what did you do differently?
Okay.
Like, of course, the first conversation, we're going to run down everything and pinpoint what the problem was because resolution. So second time, we're going to do another rundown. And if you did absolutely nothing different, except maybe you felt different mentally doing it, there was more confidence because you're like, yeah, I'm not going to fuck this up a second time, then this is not going to happen a third time.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, because there was nothing changed there but confidence.
Right.
Okay. So then it does come down to the character of the man and less about the bias.
Yes.
Okay. It's a lot to process. Just a lot. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. Howard Hughes. Sorry. Full on aviator there.
And of course, all of that is my opinion and life experiences of things.
Right.
I'm not saying anything indefinite, guys. Not a trained professional. Am I petty? Was that petty?
No, it's funny. I got a kick out of it.
Is it not petty because I'm a comedian?
Sure, we'll go with that. You do make people laugh on the internet.
Hell yeah. All right. I decided to be my true submissive self around him to show him what that looks like, allowing him to decide if it's something he can accept. And as the time has progressed, he is showing more and more appreciation for the life I'm wanting to live. We have discussed how imperative good communication is and have even had a few very serious discussions about our expectations of what this type of dynamic could become. We have established a few healthy boundaries with each other, and the one rule he's established is if there is ever a problem, we are to communicate that immediately to each other, even if it's a difficult discussion.
Ooh, he's teetering on following our cult.
He is.
Yeah, because we speak that shit all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, that needs to be resolved immediately before it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Ooh.
100%.
Yep, you can give him a name tag. He's now a follower.
We have agreed that if at any point things no longer feel like they are progressing, neither is to ghost the other person and have a conversation about that has to happen. Mm-hmm. And a conversation about what has to happen?
Yeah, how do we move forward? What's next? Yeah.
I've shown him slow introductions into my submission, and he's responding very well to them. One being I informed him of my whereabouts if I'm doing something outside of my normal routine. I know.
Simple communication.
Yes.
And respect. Tell me that's not respect. Tell me if somebody's showing you interest and they are emotionally investing in you, because that's what it is. It is an emotional investment because you're hoping to get a return on that investment. And something happens and you end up in the hospital, right? On life support or something. And for the next 3 weeks, they're trying to find you. And it finally dawns on them, maybe she didn't ghost me, maybe something happened, and they start calling the hospitals. because you're still so very new and you haven't met anyone. Like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know their family. They don't know your phone number. You then have to find out that you weren't ghosted for the last 3 months or 3 weeks or however long it's been, but this person is now on life support in a fucking hospital and no one was able to tell you, and you were unaware of what was going on simply because they didn't see it pertinent to tell you that instead of going to work today, they were going to a concert.
Right.
Simple communication. It does not, it's not control. It's not, I don't even see that as submission. I see that as respect.
I agree. I know it seems early to have done so, but I wanted to show him what it would look like if he thought he'd have a positive response to that. I've explained to him that that allows him to know where I am so that if there's ever an emergency within our city, he knows if I'm safe or not.
There you go. That was literally my example, just worded differently.
The first time I did that, we discussed how it made him feel during our nightly phone call, and he used the word calming. He said that he felt at ease knowing where I was and could see the advantages of this.
Because it lets him fall into that natural state of protector.
Right.
I've been working on this, and I'll wait. I'll get into that later because otherwise we're going to really side rail.
Okay. I love journaling and making reminder lists to myself of what my submission looks like and how I want to maintain that mindset. I sent him a list of things like not showing attitude, being honest, being obedient, and being a good listener.
People are going to have a real hard term with that obedient.
Oh, yeah.
Real hard time with that term of obedient.
He said reading it gave him a better idea of the type of relationship I want to be in and what his role would be in that. He lit up with happiness at the thought of a woman acting in a respectable manner towards him. He questioned why more women don't see this as a positive thing, but I didn't have an answer for that. We also discussed what my definition of obedience is, as it's a word that gets a lot of negative feedback. Once he understood how I view my own obedience, he became a lot more comfortable with it.
I'm going to just have to stop speaking. I am full on pulling a Peaches with this.
Did you
Why did they do that? Oh, I should have just watched.
Is my name now a noun? Is that what nouns are?
It's a Peachism.
Oh man, because I do that.
Technically, it would be a verb because that's an action that you do, but
okay.
Or even an adjective because it's a descriptive word. I didn't make it past 7th grade. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Somebody, Heather will know. Heather's a wordsmith. I don't know. I should have waited though because now I'm fucking. I want to know the obedience thing.
I don't think she's gonna tell us.
What?
I don't think she's gonna tell us what her definition of obedience is.
Julie Rock says it is a verb. All right.
All right.
The bot's working again. for now.
Back into the...
Sorry.
All right. I've also been sending him 1 or 2 texts a day to let him know how much I appreciate him, how happy I am that we met, and thanking him for being himself with me.
Gratitude.
Yeah. I do all of this.
I know. Dude, she has listened to the podcast. She has fucking heard it.
Like, I do all of this, and she is now finding happiness in a relationship and very good possibilities for future development in this relationship. He said he's already feeling a boost of confidence and the sense he's entering a masculine energy state just from those words alone.
Yeah.
Really? You said yeah, like as an agreement.
I am in agreement.
So me giving you gratitude or appreciation, you feel like hypes up your masculine energy?
Recognizing my sacrifice, absolutely. Because it is. Okay. It's a sacrifice. Me working the hours that I work is a sacrifice to my time. Mm-hmm. Me stepping in, being a bonus dad to the kids is a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice to my mental state. It's a sacrifice to their lives. There is a service there. So you recognizing my sacrifice or my acts of service absolutely puts me in my manhood, and acknowledging that makes me want to do it further. This is positive affirmations. This is no different than when a dog goes outside and pees. You go, good boy, good boy, good boy, so that it knows to be outside again.
Right.
It's the same fucking thing. Sit, dog treat. Yes, sir. Like, it's the same fucking thing. That is how everyone learns. It starts in childhood. When your kid says the first name, what do? First word? You freak the fuck out over it. You make a huge deal out of it. First time they potty in the toilet, same fucking thing. We are taught that from childhood.
Yeah.
Positive affirmations. It does not surprise me at all that that's the way that man feels. Especially in a world where you are taught that it is not okay to be a leader, that you are not supposed to be in your masculine, because masculinity somehow has a toxic connotation to it versus femininity.
I would say that today's society has drawn a very strong parallel between masculinity and being absolutely abusive.
Right. I agree. Until they need somebody to save their life, and then they call somebody that's in their masculine.
Yes. Back into the email.
Yes.
It makes me sad that he's never experienced such a thing before. I fucking get that. I fucking get that. There are times where I do something and you hit me with, I've never had that, like I've never experienced that before. And it makes me feel good to know that I can provide that for you. It also hurts my heart to know that you've never experienced it.
Yeah, that's there are a lot of men who will go through their entire life and not experience the things that I've experienced with you. I saw you look to your phone. Is your food approaching?
No, my phone verped.
Oh.
My watch verped. No, my phone, my food. I'm all over the place. I'm emotional. I love you, and I love that I can make you happy.
You just went through a whole gambit of shit over there. Are you okay?
I'm
Like in 3 seconds.
Yeah. It was...
I'm on the emotional roller coaster, and I'm trying to get off of it, but we're doing the loop-de-loops right now.
Gotcha.
So, no. Oh, my food has been picked up just now.
Okay.
And I'm off the roller coaster, guys. That's full circle. All right.
Guys, before you get into that, guys, if you have sent super chats, Steve has been screenshotting them. We will get into supers after this email, and depending on how much time we have left, we may get into one more.
Mm-hmm. I'm also going to eat, guys. My food's on the way. I am very hungry. And there are certain things that I'm willing to give up in life, and me skipping a meal is not one. I am having a lot of stomach pain today, so. He expressed to me that he is nervous. This is just what happens when you first meet someone. They act one way for the first few months, then change to something else. I don't believe people change into something else. You just get the full picture of them.
Right. People will always put their best foot forward in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I believe, this is purely me, that people will continue to give you that best foot forward until you give them reason not to. Because I believe at our heart, like at our core, most people want to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
But when things go overlooked or unnoticed or unappreciated, eventually you're going to go, well, if I'm doing X, Y, Z and they're not even recognizing it, why the fuck am I doing X, Y, Z? That attention or that effort, that energy seems wasted.
It does.
That comes down to the gratitude thing again. That also says a lot about the person, about our character and our character flaws and the way that we're raised, because we are taught to match energies, not be the better person. And we are not taught to serve the way that we are taught to serve, or the way that we should be taught to serve. Right.
So they act one way for the first few months, and they change to something else. At this point, it shouldn't be a secret. BoJack Horseman is one of my anxiety shows. And that is a show that really deep dives psychology of things. Like, I watch it and I get something new out of it every time I watch it. And then there are some things that just hit me every single time I watch it. I'm like, yeah, it will never not be a gut punch, you know?
All right, so let me ask you this, because you do just play that in your AirPods all the time.
I do.
Is it actually a psychology show, or is that where your brain is and you're perceiving things and relating it to that? Because it's a cartoon.
It is a cartoon. I like to think that it is based in the root of psychology of things. Like, it follows a man who was born into a family where the parents just absolutely resented him for being born, and he grew up into stardom, and going from somebody who was against drinking alcohol because his parents were alcoholics to becoming one himself and deep diving drugs and losing people in his life and then finally taking accountability of shit. I think it's a psychological thing.
Okay.
In that show, there is a point where he's talking to one of his girlfriends and they're in an argument and she's like, I just don't understand. Like, you're depressed, you're negative. She's like, what happened? And he was like, the same thing that always happens. You met me, you fell in love with me, and then you got to know me. That's what it is. Like, there's fucking truth in that. You meet someone, you fall in love quick because they're filling attention needs, they're filling emotional voids. They're giving you things that you were not receiving before in life. And when you are starved of something, once you receive it, you want to get it as much as you can. And a lot of the time, people who are insecure, who have low self-worth, what the first person who gives that to them, they're going to run with it.
I think it's your bias.
What do you mean?
Because when you said that, my brain didn't go there.
Where did your mind go?
That sounds like somebody who has been hurt a lot, has no self-esteem, no self-worth, and just doesn't think that they hold value.
Okay.
And that speaks to a newness of a relationship. And it's not love, it's lust.
Mm-hmm.
So real quick,
What's up?
the writer of BoJack Horseman, the whole show, the whole thing is a deep dive into mental illness.
Yep. I
Like-
believe that.
He has
Thank you, babe.
so this show gives out more practical information on certain mental disorders like depression and addiction better than most textbooks.
Okay. So then that was my bias and not hers.
Right.
Thank you. We put it in the fridge.
Yes.
I don't know whose water that was in there, but it was leaking, so I pulled it out.
That's my water. And that sucks.
Alexandra P said, commercial worst time. Oh my God. YouTube now inserts ads into live streams.
Yeah, I saw that.
It used to be that we could do it by clicking a button. Like, now's a great time for a sponsor.
Right.
Now it does it on its own.
And the sad part is you don't control what they show.
No. They fuck your food up.
They forgot a straw, but I have one. Because I'm bougie and I carry metal straws in my purse.
Flora says, I'm making gravy and biscuits.
Ooh.
Love that.
That's dinner tomorrow night for us.
I fucking love gravy and biscuits.
You want that for dinner tonight?
I want that for dinner every night.
Okay, so I'm hitting the store with the kids later. I want to try going to Publix again and see how behaviors play out. Okay. Where was I going with that? I don't remember. Back into the email?
Sure.
I have tried to explain to him that that's not how I want things to turn out, although I understand that they can go in that direction. I'm hoping we can watch your guys' videos together, make it a regular event, and that will help us to avoid such pitfalls. Can I really be this happy with myself and make a man just as happy, if not more so? Yes. I mean, I have BPD and I'm happy as fuck. So I think that it is working out very great for me as a woman. I like to think that my husband's on the same page. No, I'm not going to do that. I know my husband's on the same page. I know I make him the happiest fucker in this world. And I say that with full confidence. Look at me not putting myself down. Is this all it takes to make a good relationship? Open and honest communication,
Yes.
acting in a respectable manner,
That's the start of it.
and showing him the respect he deserves.
It's the start of it.
It is the start of it.
But it's got to be reciprocated.
Correct.
But that is the foundation. That is the fucking granite foundation. And you do make me happy. There's a lot to that. Like, I don't believe that people can make you feel an emotion. I believe you choose to feel an emotion. If you get angry, it's a choice. If you get sad, it's a choice.
Right.
So I don't believe that people can make you happy, but I believe that you do things in a way that affects my life that allows me to choose to be happy. Does that make sense? Is that the better way to word that?
Maybe. That's the end of it.
Okay, let's read some super chats while you eat then.
All right. Love that.
Going back to the top of the super chats. All right. Starting, we read that one because it was over $50. Kay said, me, female 23 and boyfriend 33, has a female best friend 26. My female 23, boyfriend 33, has a female best friend 26. That's very hard to read. Since dating, I noticed she constantly calls him and shows up to his house scantily dressed. I'm a bit modest, so her forwardness makes me uncomfortable. Have you expressed that to him, and what has his response to it been? Because his response to that is going to tell you a lot. Otherwise, there's no information there. It was just a statement. There was no question asked. Haley sent us $1.99. Wumpy. Wanted to show my support. Been listening to you guys for about a week now. I've started working on small victories. Currently, it's laundry and watching the live. Hope you both have a great day. Those small victories are the easiest way to ensure that you reach goals. People will set a goal that's really far out, and when they don't reach it in a week or 2 weeks or 2 months, they'll give up on it because it's too far out. It's not reasonable.
Right.
When you build your vision boards, you build your vision board from most easiest to accomplish to the hardest to accomplish, and you run that shit in a row, and every time something gets accomplished, you just shift everything. And eventually that really fucking hard goal that was down here will now be up here, and you'll have another really hard goal down here, and like that's how it's always worked for me. That's how I do my vision boards. We really need to redo our vision board. We keep doing shit and like leveling so fast that like we don't get time to put it on the board. All right, TK Rose. I have been with my husband for 4 years and it feels like he's dating his mom. What do I do?
One more time, please.
Ugh.
One more time.
I have been with my husband. I've been with my husband for 4 years and it feels like he's dating his mom. What do I do? You need to have a conversation with your husband.
I mean, are they going out on like weekly dates?
I think that I doubt that that's the case.
Are they texting nonstop? Is she too much in your guys' business?
Right. I think that's probably more likely.
Okay.
I think that she's probably not getting the attention that she wants from her husband. Mm-hmm. And instead he goes to his mom with all of his problems and he's probably a bit of a mama's boy. But because there's no information there, we can't really answer it. It's speculative. Wade Lucas said for $10, because Dahlia Carla immediately thought I was being respectful instead of funny, I'm out of here. Like others, I love and respect these guys, but she just made it a bad experience for me. Immediately thought I was being, I guess, disrespectful instead of funny.
I actually just saw all of that transpiring in the chat. Apparently that person said that I'm so beautiful and then said squat and vape.
I did not see any of that come through my chat window.
So
that's what I just caught Dahlia saying.
1, that's not funny. No. 2, it is disrespectful. You don't ever call another man's woman beautiful. So, bye.
Think she made you feel unwelcome?
Yeah. Let me hold the door for you as you exit there, bud. I wouldn't do that shit to your woman. Don't do it to mine. Kim said, I finally joined Patreon. Now I got to figure out how to use it and where the Discord is. I'm going to post right now in the chat one more time how to get into that. Boop. You may have to copy and paste because I don't think... Wait, I can hyperlink it by doing the HTTP thing. Guys, I don't tech the way that I used to, and I'm kind of lazy, so there you go, Kim. That's how you link your Discord. Do it from a browser, not from the Patreon app. The Patreon app is fucking trash. I hate it. All right, Brianna Mitchell. I am truly grateful for the content you create. Started watching in June and will be sending an email soon as an update. So you already sent an email, I'm assuming? Either way, updates are always appreciated. We love emails.
They are.
That are updates. We love emails, too, that include boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife content. Couples writing in together, I guess is how I should have worded that. She said, my 5-year relationship has improved immensely. Thank you, Chris and Peaches. Good on you for doing the work. All we did was provide some thought-provoking content, and you did everything else.
We talked shit on the internet.
Yep. The Hidden said, Skeletor quote of the day, remember, your breathing is now an active activity until we meet again.
You fucker.
That was a good super chat to read. That's funny. We read Julie's super chat for $50, but I'm reading it again because it's in the queue. They weren't here for Patreon Live Sunday night. We were definitely at church. I fucked it up both times I read it. All right. Connor said, hey guys, I've been watching you guys for like 6+ months now. I've seen every episode of the podcast and rewatch content all the time. I'm 22 and you constantly show me how to be better. Connor, I highly suggest that you join Patreon. Aside from the backlog content that is there is live streams that are a much smaller, like there's normally only 100 people in there or less.
Right.
But we're a lot more active in the chat and all of that. And there's going to be a whole lot of content going up in the future that will be content exclusive, including interviews.
Can't get over the fact that someone paid us to read that they were offended.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. Amy said, Romans 6:7, for the one who has died has been acquitted from his sin. God forgives because his son died to forgive all sin. Tell me that is not the ultimate act of service. We are put here to serve, to sacrifice. That is a man's position in this world. Eve was put here to aid and nurture and help. Like, yep, I'm really processing all of that right now. I've got something coming. I haven't typed it out yet, but it's in the opening stages of service and what it means to be a man. All right, first time here, but you two speak the truth to people who, I'm sorry, babe, will you read that? Because I'm apparently stupid this morning.
First time here, but you two speak the truth to people, and more people need the truth of relationships in today's society. Feel we are losing that.
I don't know why I struggled so hard with that. I think it was all the twos.
Maybe. A lot of T's in there.
All right. Seeing new names.
Me too.
It's exciting. Kelia Art said, I look up to your relationship so much. I finally sent you to an email. I have been working the courage up to send. I'm sorry it's long, but I didn't want to skip anything that might help. I really hope that it's not trauma dumping and that you actually provide something that you need help with. You were about to say me too, but I wasn't done talking. So would you like to say me too now?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Made it extra hot today.
Yeah?
I smell it.
Yeah.
This is you, babe.
From Hunter. Hope everything is great. Peaches, how often do you re-dye your hair? Thank you guys for all you do. So I typically go between 2 and 3 months of doing my hair. I like to give my hair a break. I bleach my roots every time I dye my hair. So we are not aggressive about this hair dye.
Evan said, just to thank you for talking with me on the live Sunday.
You're welcome.
For you guys who are on Patreon, Evan is the one who was the second caller that we spoke to on Zoom. Kay said, how do I bring this up to him? I want to be respectful to their friendship, but also state my feelings. She texts him more than I do. That was the mom one. How do I bring this up to him? I want to be respectful to their friendship. Oh, no, this was the scandally dressed one. This was the first super chat we read. This is a problem for me.
It sounds like she's biting for his attention.
It sounds like she's trying to get an in.
Right.
It sounds like she has an in.
Right. She's showing up to his place to hang out, scantily clad.
Right. And then also blowing his phone up constantly.
Right. How to bring that up? How would I bring that up?
How would you bring that up?
I wouldn't be with a man who's comfortable with just having chick friends like that.
Yeah.
That sets a standard for how you view relationships, and I'm good. So I'm going to be honest, I don't have advice on that. And I'm sorry.
I don't have any female friends that are not lesbian
Or in a relationship.
or married. And even the ones that are in those relationships, we'll take Evan and Jackie, for instance. Mm-hmm. I don't ever speak to Jackie. I've never had a private conversation with his wife, with Steve's wife. Mm-hmm. every time I've talked to Kim, it's been in person while he's standing there, or public forum like messages on Facebook. I am one of those people that believe at the heart of a relationship, men and women do not have enough in common for a sustainable long-term friendship without a hidden agenda.
I agree.
And I know that I know there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with, and that's fine. You can disagree with that, but my life experience has said otherwise. Mm-hmm. And I would tell that guy that. Sabrina said, I apologize for being a snitch Monday towards Chris in the premiere chat, but I wasn't about to keep a secret from Peaches when Chris called her hot, LOL. She snitched on me twice now, but you paid to do it this time, so.
Hearing you laugh when I got into that chat and I said I heard someone's talking shit.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Madeline May said, I have a dissociative disorder, and I've always found it easier to communicate via writing. Thank you so much for touching on this and making me feel validated and not childish for communicating this way with a heart. Look, you having to take steps to communicate is growth. Even if it takes you 10 years to make that next step, as long as you are actively trying to take that next step every time, that's growth. I am a very big believer that communicating at any level is better than not. I would rather have a text message conversation than no conversation.
Yeah.
And I hate text message conversations, especially over important topics. But if that's one of those things that absolutely has to be had in the moment and there's no other way to do it, I will accept that over not having the conversation at all. I'm glad that you found validation in what we were saying. All right. Chris, can you elaborate on why complimenting Peaches is disrespectful? I understand it easily can be, but it doesn't compute for me how saying beautiful is. Because you don't do that. If you tell somebody of the opposite sex that they are attractive to you, you are complimenting them on a way that you are trying to get attention from them. And I see that as a hopeful, oh, really? You think I'm beautiful? And that you're going to get some type of attention from them. Mm-hmm. And using terms like that is disrespectful. If you think Peach's hair look nice, her hair, the way she dyes her hair looks nice, you can say, Peaches, your hair looks good today. Or I like what you did with your hair. That's not disrespectful.
Yeah.
Telling a woman she is beautiful has a hint of intimacy to it.
Right.
So telling another man's wife that she is a beautiful, or that she's got a fat ass, or damn girl, you look good in that dress, is disrespectful as fuck. And I have to be honest, if we were in person and you looked at my wife while I was standing there and said, you're beautiful, I'm going to knock your fucking teeth out. Full chest. I will go back to prison over some shit like that. Try me. We are not doing that. That's just not how I roll. Right. And if that's the type of person you are and that's the crowd that you hang out with, you need to reevaluate who you are as a man, because that is unacceptable.
As a woman, that tells me that if I were to be with you, you're just willing to call anybody that.
Yeah.
That's not a sacred term for you. That is, I'll tell it to anybody if they look at me. If it might get me a little bit of attention. I can always tell the difference between a boy complimenting me and a man complimenting me.
Elaborate on that.
So a boy compliment is, damn girl, you look fine.
Okay.
Fat ass, let me holla. The biting, that shit.
I gotta look all this up. Give me a minute. I'm kidding.
There was a time that I was walking through Walmart, and this big biker dude, leather jacket, late 50s, walks past me and goes, I really like how you do your hair.
Right. It's a compliment.
And that was it. He kept walking. That's a true compliment. That is a, let me make your day just so you know your hair looks fucking dope.
Right.
Like you said, the intention behind it is different.
I also think that it's important to recognize the power of a word.
Yeah.
Right. And when I say something's beautiful, there is absolutely 100% always an emotion tied to it. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful flower. It's a beautiful song. The lyrics in that are beautiful. You're beautiful. Like, that is not, you're attractive. That's not, you have nice hair. There is an emotion attached to that.
Right.
You're a beautiful soul. Somebody wanted to say that to you, say that all you want, because you're complimenting her on a spiritual level.
Right.
You're complimenting her kindness. You tell a woman she's beautiful and you're basing it solely on her looks. I believe at the core that you want a whole lot more than to pay her a compliment. You don't do that.
Right.
I really hold, I think that your words matter.
I agree.
Kimber said, sorry was late, appreciative of what y'all do here. Can you give an example of a small victory and a big victory? I feel like this will help me mentally if I feel like I actually accomplished something in a day. Do you want to handle that, or you want me to?
A small victory. I got out of bed before 8 a.m. I brushed my teeth. I changed my clothes. I put the clothes in the dryer when the washer pinged. I didn't eat a whole thing of cake. I wanted crumble cookie, but I didn't order crumble cookie.
Those small victories lead to discipline.
They do.
I'm going to take what your example was back a little bit further. I woke up before 8 a.m. How about my alarm went off at 6:45 this morning, and I chose to get out of bed instead of laying there knowing that I woke up depressed today.
Yeah.
And I started my day. I got in the shower, I brushed my teeth, and I went to the gym. It's a victory because you're depressed and you don't want to fucking do anything. That's the smallest level of that. Although when you verbalize it like that, that's a pretty big win, right? Small victory for me would be versus big victory would be I would like to buy 10 acres of land with a barn dominium on it in Tennessee. That's a huge victory, right? I know that's a long-term goal for me. One of my short-term goals right now would be making sure that I'm able to pay off my credit card debt so that when I'm ready to do that, I can get a loan at a really low interest rate. So if I wake up this morning and I realize that there's an extra $300 in the bank, I can take $250 of that money and pay a card payment. That's an overage. That's a victory because I'm working towards that goal so that when that one credit card is paid off, I can take that credit card off the vision board and move everything over because that was a victory. Those small victories lead up to great success. You are climbing a ladder one rung at a time. You walk a mile one step at a time. It's just recognizing those small steps. Alex said, I appreciate you guys so much. Glad to be a part of the tribe. My tattoo, the verse Deuteronomy 31:6, made me think really this morning. Stopped on the side of the highway to think. P.S. Hydration check. Those pulling over on the side of the road when you're really going through a mental process is where growth happens. I believe that. I've had audiobooks where I've had to get off the interstate and stop at a gas station and just put my car in park for a minute.
I've done it twice this week.
It happens. Yeah. There's times where you'll have a thought and it'll be a loud one and it doesn't feel like it was yours. And you're like, okay, wait a minute. Like I have that too. Yep. Love that. I need to look up Deuteronomy 31:6 now though.
You know, I have my Bible sitting nice and neat, packed in my little carrying thing, sitting on I want to call it an armoire, just ready to go. And for the last 3 days, I've forgotten to grab it.
Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. The Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave nor forsake you. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. My boyfriend is emotionally unavailable due to his upbringings. He has had a hard time setting up boundaries with his parents due to it being triggering for him. He doesn't want to be confrontational. Is he a child still? You said boyfriend. So he's definitely not your husband. Is he a child? Because not being able to set a boundary because it's triggering for you sounds like some kid shit. Does he still live with his parents? Because it's really hard to set boundaries if you're living in somebody else's house.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of questions there. Whole lot of questions. Thank you for the super chat, though. Hi, Chris and Peaches. My boyfriend and I have been watching y'all for the last 6 months, and you guys have helped our relationship immensely. Thank you for all you do. You are welcome, Megan. All right, babe. You read this one.
Kelia. I want to assure you there's no trauma, just a few different questions and the details that led to them.
That was the one who just sent their email. Love that. Oh, we're all caught up. Nope.
1 second.
Do you want to do another email? We have time.
Yeah, we can do another one. I'm going to use the restroom, though.
Okay. We have another
Holy
super
shit.
chat coming through. What?
I have 1.4 thousand people on TikTok right now.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
All right.
right.
I'll be back, TikTok. I need to use the restroom. Where's my vape?
I'm going to read this while you walk out.
Okay.
B-Bond said, your videos, podcasts help me and my man know we are in a good place. Despite good comments towards him, he was raised right versus me, who is weak and brainwashed. You know the beauty of being brainwashed? Everything you learn, you can unlearn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, habits, behavioral patterns, behavioral traits, all of that shit can be unlearned.
Yep.
There are people who grow up in extremely racist environments who believe that shit their whole life and have one person say something or treat them a certain way to undo all of that.
I am walking, talking, living proof of that.
Yeah. I sent an email prematurely, and the more content I saw, I knew it would not get read. We'll be sending a better one. That was the follow-up update email. Good. Well, I love that. Even more so, I hope the content that you saw was giving you the answers that you need. Julie Rock said, sometimes women struggle with their self-image. I saw the 50.
Okay.
And need to hear they look beautiful. As a woman who has dealt with body dysmorphia 4 years, I am very quick to tell a woman she looks beautiful, but I cringe when a man says it to me. There is a difference between a man paying a man a compliment and a woman paying a woman a compliment.
Absolutely.
Especially when there's not an underlying intimate scenario that could happen there.
Right, but there's also that ignorance in our society that a lot of young men are not taught, whether they have fathers or not. Hey, you don't do that. That's not okay. Right. You know what I mean? There's a little bit more to that. I would never go off the rails and be like, you're beautiful, unless it's my wife.
Right.
That's lock, stock, two smoking barrels. That's all there is, because that's how I was brought up. Now, if somebody, and I've had this happen too to me, someone's like, oh, I got a new outfit. What do you think? And I'm like, I dig it. It fits you.
Nice
you
color.
know? Very nice color, compliments, whatever, because they want to hear that. But
Right.
there's no connotation behind it whatsoever.
Okay, hang on now, because I learned something new from Peaches. Peaches, would you get into that, please?
About what?
On the way to properly compliment clothing on a woman.
Right. So there's certainly a difference in saying that color complements your skin, I like your shirt, right? Complements your complexion, whatever you want to say, is 100% different than saying you look really good in that dress. Saying you look really good in that dress is implying that you have taken in my full figure and you've decided you are pleased with what you see. In saying, I like the color of your dress, is complimenting the color of that dress, not me in the dress.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because this came from Julie Rocks.
Okay.
You were in the bathroom, but the Super Chat said, sometimes women struggle with their self-image and need to hear they look beautiful. As a woman who has dealt with body dysmorphia for 4 years, I'm very quick to tell a woman she looks beautiful, but I cringe when a man says it to me. So if a woman told you that you looked great in that dress and it did not seem like they were a lesbian,
Right.
would you take it the same way that you would take it if a man said it?
No, because there's no sexual intention behind that.
Okay. So you believe
that's
when
a
a
pure
man said,
hype up.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. See, and I agree with that.
If it came from a gay man, there's also a different intention behind that. That's just a straight
Bro,
fucking
let a
hype
gay
up.
man pay me a compliment.
Oh, I'll take them all day long.
Right? I'm calling you on the phone afterwards. Babe, I'm on my shit today.
Yeah.
That shit's funny. All right. Super chat. Oh, it jumped. $50 super chat from Just Another Michael said, thank you for the explanation. Hearing it explained that way hit a nerve. And I, on top of respecting it, I actually agree with it. Thank you both for the continuous education y'all provide. It's just perspective. It is just perspective. That whole thing that we just laid out, where Peaches is like a man complimenting a woman saying that you look good in that dress, to me was never a sexual thing unless I was complimenting their ass or their titties, right? That was just a normal thing for me because I heard women say that shit all the time, so I thought that was normal. But after having multiple conversations with you and understanding that it can be perceived that way, I stopped complimenting clothes. I'll compliment dude's shoes. Hey man, I like your hat. Mm-hmm. But now my compliments are specific to what I like and not a broad,
Yeah.
you know.
I, as a married woman, if I'm complimenting a man, it's dope hat, dude.
Right.
Because of women, I don't think that married men should be complimenting women, because women will take anything as an in, right? We already know that women don't compliment men. It's a very rare thing to happen. Women are complimented nonstop. And a lot of men make the argument of, oh, well, she's my friend. I want to I want her to feel good about herself. Well, you're not her man. Why is it on you to make her feel good about herself? She has single men in her DMs telling her she looks good, random strangers complimenting her. And if they're not, it is not your responsibility as somebody else's man to make sure that she feels attractive.
Right. Do you have that same energy with your ugly friends? Right? Because we all got them. You got that same energy with the friends who are 300 pounds overweight?
What do you mean?
For men who are paying a compliment to their friend, as you just put it.
Okay.
So if you got a friend,
he pay that same compliment
right?
To an overweight
if you got
woman?
a friend that's 5'2" and 600 pounds, are you paying that same compliment?
Right.
Because if not, you're full of shit, is what it comes down to. The Hidden said, "What are some small things I can do to cheer up and help a depressed friend of mine? He struggles pretty hard right now with family member almost dying. Some tips, thanks." Listen. That's the best thing that you can do for somebody who's going through it. Just listen.
And don't harp on things.
You don't even have to offer any advice. Just sit there and be like, bro, I can tell you're going through something, and if you want to talk about it, I'm here. And then shut the fuck up and let them vent. And if they don't vent, sit there in silence. Sometimes having somebody there with you while you're suffering and not saying a fucking word is enough. Because I know I'm not alone. They could easily get up and walk into another room. They could be playing on their phone. If they're sitting there disassociating, staring into the fucking trees, and I'm not doing anything, and I know that they're sitting beside me, I'm not alone right now.
Right.
That could be enough. RJ said, always thankful for the perspective and the push to growth changed my life. This thing's jumping all over the place.
Yeah, they've been keeping me busy.
I'm actually reading the supers now, Steve, so you can slow down. Zach said, my sister and wife have the same birthday. How do I make my wife feel important when my family only celebrates my sister? What do you mean your wife? Wait, what? Wait. Your family as in like your mom and dad and uncle and cousins? Because that makes sense that they're celebrating your sister.
Right.
When you get married, you're not joining a family. You're creating your own.
Right.
So if Peaches and my sister Amy shared the same birthday, Amy would get a birthday text message. Peaches would be getting showered with gifts and birthday dingling and new car test drives and cake and brownies and all of those things, because though my sister's my sister, my wife is my priority.
Right.
Your family doesn't need to shower your wife with gifts. Your family should be... Peaches would be sending Amy the birthday text like, hey, happy birthday. Oh, thanks. Happy birthday to you too. And that would be the end of it. If my mom sent you a happy birthday text, great. But Amy is her daughter. So like, would you get the same attention that Amy would be getting? No. Well, maybe because my mom is that person. But that's the point. You know what I mean? Like, you are the priority to your partner, not everyone around. Jaded said, we live together. He's 26 years old. He's a mama boy. Well, I was right. I called it on that one. Kaylee said, can you touch on your hubby watching provocative or thirst trap videos of women on YouTube? He flips through YouTube like TikTok. I've addressed it, and he says I'm overreacting, that it's the algorithm to blame for me cheating. For me, it's cheating. So it is the algorithm because he's trained the algorithm to do that.
Right. Yeah.
If you picked up my phone right now, babe, and opened TikTok, you would probably get 15 to 20 videos before you saw the random forced sex video that pops up on everyone's shit. Because you can't not have it. But during that 20 scrolls, you're going to see mental health, Christian TikTok, because that's most of my TikTok is pastors.
Yeah.
Do you follow? I meant to ask you this the other day. You got your phone open over there?
I can.
I'm going to give this dude a shout out. Did you spill something on yourself?
No.
Okay.
There was almost a catastrophe, but we're good.
All right.
What am I doing?
Oh. The tag is I am Quan Prater. QUONPRATER.
You're going way too fast. I am.
QUONPRATER.
Okay. I do not follow him.
This dude's content is hands down my favorite TikTok creator I have ever found.
Okay.
And all he does is come in with a problem. He's like, hey, bruh. And he's like, what you got? And that's every video starts that way. And then he's like, lately I've been feeling like, and then it goes back to the other version of him wearing normal clothes, like he's changing clothes because it's supposed to be two different people having a conversation. And then he hits him with scripture with why he's feeling that way. And then he backs it up with another scripture and then another scripture. And he's like, but what about? And then another scripture. And like,
Okay.
dude puts a ton of time into these videos. Hands down, favorite TikToker. Love what he's doing. Anyways,
Okay.
I don't remember why that got brought up,
Me either.
but it did. Oh, because the algorithm. I looked up
algorithm.
the chat. Because my algorithm is shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to see when I get on TikTok, not half-naked thirst traps. You'll get the live streams. I don't know why. The live streams have nothing to do with the shit that I watch, ever. That was my foot.
Oh.
The live streams that show up on my feed, like, I've gotten people playing video games. I don't do video games. You're going away. I can't see you.
tummy hurts.
All right, next super chat says, absolutely love y'all's relationship. Y'all have helped me tremendously be a better human. I've been telling everyone I know about y'all's podcast, and me and my boyfriend have been following y'all's videos together. I love that. I hope that it's created great conversation between the two of you.
Thank you all for the super chats.
Yeah. Yep. Bender the Offender. Hello again. I was a gentleman from the other day's stream. My father is able to work a driving job, and me and my sister went in on a house together, so we get the final say. Love that. I think this was the person who had diabetes.
The diabetic
dad?
dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy that I'm able to remember some of this shit, and I can't remember other things. Jolene, took everything I had not to sing your name, said, I am a huge fan. My fiance and I have 2 kids. He's bipolar 2, and we've struggled for 4 years with 4 years period. He struggles with being the man of the house and with respecting me as his woman, mother of his children. We are NCC. Do you think it will help?
NCC.
Couples counseling?
Oh, in couples counseling.
Yeah. Well, she said in, and then CC
I heard
is
N, like the letter N.
Yeah, no.
CC.
It could help if you guys find the right counselor and you guys are able to communicate with each other and the counselor is able to mediate. I mean, that's the whole point of that. I hope that helps you guys. I mean, you guys could also try watching our content. People have said that helps too. I would do it in tandem. Continue your credit counseling, continue watching our content. Maybe there's something that I will say, or maybe he'll see me be emotional and that'll help. Maybe something that we didn't think would ever help anyone might help.
Maybe.
I don't know. Let's do another email,
Okay.
please.
All right. This one is titled, I'm the Problem.
Yep. Next.
Hi, guys. Hope you're doing well. I've had an epiphany, and I wanted to share in hopes it encourages us all to have a little more accountability. I, 24-year-old female, and my husband, 27, have been married for a year and a half and recently had a baby 2 months ago. We've always had a super strong relationship, the kind that can bring about, and the kind I am so proud of. Oh, the kind you can brag about.
Okay.
The only hang up is that we've never had... I can't fucking read. The only hang up we have ever had in our relationship that's lasted is his forgetfulness versus my overwhelming attention to detail. Watching your podcast, I have recently been learning how male and female brains work differently.
Can you read that one more time?
Watching your podcast, I've recently been learning how male and female brains work
The
differently.
part right above that.
The only hang up we have ever had in our relationship that's lasted is his forgetfulness versus my overwhelming attention to detail.
Okay. Sounds familiar. Because you forget.
As do you.
Right. Right. We both do. But the details matter, right? To you. So, like, if you tell me something and I hear it, but don't file it as important, it's not going to get ever brought back up. Like, it's gone. For example, when you're like, babe, today at 11 o'clock, I have to do blah, blah, blah. And it's 10:30 and you're like, I'm leaving. I'm like, where are you going? I'm not going with you. Do I need to be there? Do I need to remember this? Is this pivotal to my life in the moment? Probably not. So it's okay that you remind me. The reason that I say that is because things that are important, Steve, I need you to catch those again.
I'm on it.
The things that are important to some are not important to others. and that's okay. So getting mad that like your person may be forgetful or that their attention is not being placed on the same things that you are placing your attention on is normal. Your perspective is not their perspective. So, and I truly believe that comes down to it not being important or it not meaning as much as to what's currently going on. I am fucking guilty of this. And like I was going to use the bathroom window as an example just to like ha ha ha.
Right.
It's me way more than you. Like thinking on it because I can only give the window as an example. And it was only because it was yesterday. It was a ha-ha moment. I don't have a single example otherwise where I've told you something and you've forgotten it because it happens with me way more than it happens with you. I store away things that are based off of relevance. How high of a priority is this? Are we at like 1 or 5? Because things that are at 5 and like are about to meltdown take precedence over things that are 1 every day of the week. So like I have to prioritize my life because I have so much going on that like, so what might be important to you may not be very important to me in the moment. And you never get mad at me. You always have grace knowing that I have all these other things going on. And you choose to not shit on me because of it or to start unnecessary arguments and fights over it because you know I'm fucking going through things. So there's a grace there. There's situational awareness there. You're allowing me to serve in the way, the best way that I am capable of serving, and you're not creating conflict because I'm not serving you the way that you want to be served. You're allowing me to do it the way that I can. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. It's important. That's where my brain went.
Yeah.
It was a lot faster though when I didn't have to verbalize it all.
Right.
Words are hard.
I feel bad about that window thing.
That shit's funny. Because at 4 o'clock in the morning, it's loud in there. I'm in the bathroom, like, what the fuck is going on? Why can't I hear all this shit? Yeah, the window is open. Yep.
It's so stupid. When I use the restroom, I like to open the window so I can hear the outside nature, and I turn my phone off. Like typically, people would go into their phone.
So you're by proxy pooping in the woods?
Yeah, like there's times at night where I'll. This actually happened the other night. Our daughter was looking for me, and she was like, "The bathroom light's not on. Mommy's not in there." And
You were in the dark. You were hiding from the kids.
No, I wasn't. I was using the restroom, but I had all the lights off, and it was softly raining outside, and I was imagining what it was like to use an outhouse in like the 1700s.
Yeah.
Because that was a human experience.
That's funny.
And now suddenly we have phones to distract us.
No longer reading the back of the shampoo bottle.
No, I'm pondering. One of my favorite things to do is think.
Yeah.
So if I can sit around and just think and not do anything, hell yeah, my phone stresses me out. Social media stresses me out. The news stresses me out. And it's all tailored to be that way. I have fun in my mind. I'd rather be there.
Yeah.
Back into the email?
Sure. Sure.
My husband is very simple and straightforward, and my mind is 1,000 places at once while carrying through each task in a specific order.
Sounds obsessive compulsive, but okay.
I'll say, you got OCD? This has always caused rift between us as he feels like I move too fast and worry too much, and I feel like he moves too slow and doesn't care enough.
Because the things that are important to you are not important to him.
Right. You guys have two separate lives.
Mm-hmm. Which is normal.
It is.
I'm willing to bet they argue over the way the towels are folded.
Oh, man.
This is the vibe I'm getting from this.
Yeah. The throngs we usually have hiccups with. Do you mean things? The things we usually have hiccups with are little things like picking up after himself or remembering to do the things I have on a list for him that I may need help with.
Honey-do list.
Yeah. I pick up after you.
Mm-hmm.
I clean up things that you've left on the kitchen counter or screwing across the poker board or whatever. Of course, there's that little counter section where I put your things that I don't think should be thrown away, but I don't know where their home is. So I have that over there, but you are a man who is always doing a million things in a minute. And the last thing you need is, I can't believe you didn't walk 10 steps to throw this away. I am currently in the kitchen cleaning anyway. It takes absolutely nothing for me to just pick that up off the counter on my way to do the dishes.
Yeah. I clean up after you a lot too. It happens. That's normal shit. The kids are there. A phone call will happen. Fans get turned on, left on, doors stay open, fucking pizza rolls are still on the kids' table from dinner. Like that's life. It's life.
Right.
No, so like in those situations, complaining or making issues over things like that, you are instigating conflict where there otherwise would not be any. That is a you problem.
Yeah.
If I got mad at you every time I saw a water bottle with no fucking lid on it, knowing that we have two little goblins running through the house at high speeds all the time, like I could get mad at the kids. I could scream and yell and create a whole lot of problems. It's not going to solve anything. Only thing that's going to happen is in the end, I'm going to get upset. Super chat. Gracie Day said, would Peaches be insulted as your woman if another woman called Chris sir?
Well, you could have just asked me that question. I'm here.
She is asking you that.
Would Peaches be insulted as your woman?
Oh, yeah, no, you're wrong. Go ahead. You're right, I mean.
So,
you can read the rest of it.
I don't know. I just have a big problem with being talked about when I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
You know? I can tell somebody's intentions behind their words. So if a woman walks up to my man super sultry and calls him sir, I hope she has a very nice dental plan.
There is definitely a difference between being respectful and being intentional.
Right.
Yep. This falls into a conversation that we had, was it R&R 16, 15, yeah, where we actually talked about the Darlin thing?
Yes.
That we did an R&R on that. If it hasn't released yet, it might drop Friday. Mm-hmm. But we have a whole episode coming out on that.
Before, scroll back up.
Okay.
I know that your intention in phrasing the way you did was not meant to have an adverse effect. I would recommend in phrasing next time, Peaches, would you be insulted as Chris's woman? Instead of asking my husband how I would feel, you can ask me.
Yeah. Yeah, in reading that, there's definitely a difference between sir and ma'am.
Yes.
And intentionally calling somebody sir. Like,
right,
you can tell the difference in that conversation.
Yep.
All right.
Back into the email, or do we have another super chat?
No, that was a $50 super chat, so I interrupted for it. What were we just talking about before that?
Keeping score, picking up things after somebody, because that's life.
I feel like there was somewhere I was going with that, and I got sidetracked. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
That is definitely a you problem. That you get upset that you have to pick up after. Now, he could be a fucking slob. And if that's the case, he was a slob when you met him. Right? Because that doesn't just happen overnight. Things might get more lax over time, but that indicator was there in the beginning. What are you staring at?
Me?
Yeah.
At the screen.
Okay. I didn't know if there was something happening in the chat or...
No. I'm in a lot of pain. I don't know what's going on with my intestines, but it hurts.
Lorraine said that R&R is already out, so it must have been the last one that just released on Friday, or maybe 14. I don't know. We'll finish this email and call it a day then if you're in pain. I don't want to keep you on here.
Okay. Oh, she elaborates a little bit on his forgetfulness or having to pick up after him.
Okay.
Ever since having the baby, my hormones have been everywhere, and I've been nagging way more frequently than I would like, and I noticed it was starting to become a daily thing of me getting frustrated over something as little as him putting his socks on the floor or his desk instead of the basket. For a few months now, I've been praying that God will help us fix this part of our relationship and bring me into the wife I need to be for him and him to grow into a man my daughter and I need him to be.
So wait a minute. He's not the man your daughter and him need to be because he won't put his socks in the laundry basket? Tell me that's not the most fucked up statement you've ever heard. This man, does he go to work? Does he provide? Is he willing to lay his life down? If somebody broke into your house, would he put you and your child in front of him, or would he grab the pew-pew and defend the home?
He can't because the socks are on the floor.
You guys... Oh, man.
If you have to pray for him to grow into the man that you and your daughter need him to be, why did you marry him and have a child with him?
Right. I would also like to talk about the hormone thing.
Yeah.
The hormone thing happens. We've talked about that at length. getting frustrated or emotional is something different than choosing to make something out of it.
Right.
Right? So like if you were having a bad depression day and you decided you wanted to create conflict with me, that's a choice.
It is.
Saying, I know that I'm emotional and hormonal right now and this is not worth an argument is also a choice. Saying that your husband is not the man he needs to be and you're praying for him to be the man you need him to be over his socks is a problem.
Right.
That has control issues. I understand that like it's frustrating when the socks don't quite make it to the laundry bin, but that's not something to fight over. We
Right.
both miss the laundry bin every once in a while.
My socks are strewn across the living room floor.
They're also on the end table. So fucking what?
Not underneath. I mean, they're underneath the end table.
Yeah, on the shelf.
Right. I put them on the shelf near my knitting things.
Right.
That's because I take my socks off at the end of the day and I'm fucking exhausted and I'm sitting down for the first time and my feet hurt.
Right. How does that hurt your life in any way, shape, or form? Because it
Right.
doesn't hurt mine
No,
at all.
it's not even on your side of the couch.
Even it wouldn't matter if it was on the pillow on my side of the couch. I would sit on that fucking sock.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Our bills are paid. Our kids are thriving.
Mm-hmm.
You're happy. That's important. Where your socks end up is not fucking important. If it is that hard for you to pick up after the person that you love and them do the same thing for you, because I guarantee you they do it in the same facet, there are things that you do that your partner is absolutely fucking annoyed by. And I guarantee you that as a man, he's less likely to say something about it because he knows that the conflict that's going to come from him saying something about it is probably not worth it, or it's just not that big of a deal.
Right.
This is what we do now. Things are no longer actively trying to kill us, so we have to find a way to get that cortisol and that fight or flight, so we're going to start fights over things like socks. How dare you leave the toilet seat up? Well, you have two fucking hands. Put the toilet seat down. If I have to put it up every single time and you don't have to put it down every single time, the lift to down ratio is not the same.
No, it's not.
Where's the equality in our relationship? That's what I hear when I hear those arguments.
Right.
Are you that fucking petty?
Petty spaghetti.
Sarah said, I find myself spending more time cleaning up than I do spending time with him. Why is that? Does he work too much? Are you not a priority to each other? Because
Yeah,
that's a very different conversation. What I hear in that is that you guys don't have intimate moments anymore.
Right.
That you guys no longer have date nights, that you're probably both stressed the fuck out, that you're not on a good relationship level with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Peaches used to clean my house before we were even living together.
Yeah.
You would go to the store for me. You would cook for me. You would do the dishes after you cooked for me. There was a whole lot of things
I
that
would
you
do
could
your
have looked
laundry.
at and been like, this is a red flag. I don't want to be this guy. His underwear 3 feet from the basket. He obviously can't shoot hoops. I married a white guy with no basketball game. Can't do this. This is a red flag. Nope. You were like, one day I'm going to miss not being able to pick his underwear up off the floor.
Yeah.
That's our relationship. And when we have those days where we are overwhelmed and we're starting to feel a certain way about each other, we go, you know, I think we might need a date night. Our intimacy is starting to crash a little bit, or I'm feeling like I'm not getting enough couch time or enough cuddle time. We have the discussions instead of letting it become a problem.
Mm-hmm. I also want to touch on that. They have a newborn baby,
Yeah.
2 months old, and there's not a touch on whether he gets up at night to help. Is he cooking when you can't? Is he stepping up in aspects to help you with the baby? And he's forgetting to leave socks on his desk.
Do you think, real shit, do you think that if she's willing to complain about socks, that if he wasn't taking care of the baby, that we would not have heard about it?
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet that if he wasn't changing diapers and wasn't helping out with the child, that would have been in the email.
Mm-hmm. You want to get back into the email?
Yes, please.
All right. Yesterday morning, we had one of these moments. I was driving him to work because I needed the car for the day, and I had on music, and he turned on his phone to watch TikTok. I turned the music down and huffed with an attitude because I get overstimulated with several different types of things playing at once. I've told him before, but instead of giving him a gentle reminder, I had an argument with him.
Yeah, because you huffed and pouted and got angry.
Right, but there's two of you in the car, so why do you get to dictate what noise gets to play?
Right. Why do you play music in the car when you're... Okay, this is purely a me thing. Real shit, everything I'm about to say is solely a Chris thing. And I don't expect anyone to be on the same level with me, but I do not turn the radio on when we're in the car.
No.
Ever. I will put on an audiobook when you're like, babe, you can listen to your audiobook if you want, or if you've got your headphones in. Otherwise, my radio is off. My attention is solely on the conversation that we are going to have because we are uninterrupted. So if he's scrolling TikTok when you're driving, it means that you guys aren't talking.
Right.
And if you're playing the radio and he is unable to communicate with you in the car because he's got to talk over the radio, you can't be mad at him for wanting to do something on his phone to keep himself occupied because you're doing the exact same thing. Turn the radio off.
Right.
Ride in fucking silence. That way, in the event that he wants to a request for connection or you want a request for connection, it can be there without having to yell over a radio or having to turn the radio down over and over and over again. Why are you driving if he's in the car?
Right.
That's a whole nother question. You should be driving. He should be driving the car while you're in the passenger seat.
Mm-hmm. I'm still hung up on I had music on and he turned on his phone to watch TikTok and she had a how dare you moment.
Yeah, she huffed.
Like that.
Because she could hear it.
Like, who do you think you are?
Yeah. It's rude. That's actually rude etiquette. If you're in public and people can hear your phone,
it's rude. Yeah.
It is rude. He should have had his headphones. I agree with that. On a purely on a respect level, the headphones should have been there. But the base level of that is if you're driving together, your shit should be off. You should be talking to your partner. There's a missed opportunity for intimacy in the car. And you did it to yourself.
Yeah. When he got out of the car, I sat there for a second and realized something needed to change. I can't keep going on like this. Later that day, I decided to watch your live show. In the live show, you guys were showing a video of a woman screaming at her husband in front of her kids because he ate sausage that was for a meal. The whole time watching it, all I could think to myself is, if I don't change, this is where my marriage is headed.
Stand by.
Okay, stand by. I'm gonna take a hit. Holy shit, 1.6. No, my non.
All right. I thought somebody knocked on the door and heard that weed eater. Mm-hmm. And my Mercedes is out there, and I'm a little more concerned about my car than my truck, so I had to go look to see what was going on. All right.
Wow. The whole time watching it, all I could think to myself is, if I don't change, this is where my marriage is headed. I thought about it all day and realized that I was the problem. He's a chronic forgetter. There's ways to help with that. And when I decided to marry him, I made the choice to carry his burdens and baggage.
Yep.
100%.
Well said.
Later that night, I sat him down to talk to him about my realization, and I recognized I needed to be more graceful with him. For a while, it was just me talking. He's always been quiet and reserved. I eventually said, if we are going to find a way to fix this, you have to participate in the conversation. He finally spoke up and called me out for several things I do and explained how his mind works.
There you go. Said that shit. Let me pause you real quick, though, because somebody said that, and I'm going to read it verbatim.
Okay.
Somebody said, a lady complaining about socks and then not seeing her man's masculinity, it means there's bigger problems in the relationship, and the socks is a metaphor. The socks are factual.
That was the literal story she gave about the socks.
But I agree that there's a whole lot more going on in the relationship, but the issue of the socks was not a metaphor. The socks are a problem. There's a lot. That's a lot. She fucking called that. Exactly what I said earlier. She was like, yep. And that was it. It's in the email. Mm. It's like, we've done this before.
Yeah. You ready to keep going?
I am.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
You're pretty good over there.
Yeah, you think so?
Always. Mm. I like it when you do hair like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I do it just for you.
I know.
I like being something that you enjoy looking at.
We got to move our tables back. This looking over the monitor thing doesn't work for me.
Is it obstructing your view?
It's stupid. I just want to flip this table over and like cause a scene. Jesus with the money changers. Let's go.
I love that that's what you compared it to.
Y'all need
That's
me.
great.
I can step out.
Like full on tantrum. Yeah.
He told me that he knows how to do things and has his own mental lists, but when he gets home, I overload him with too many needs, and then he mentally crashes. He told me he actively chooses not to do something because he figures he'll get bitched at for it later anyway, so what's the point?
Yep. That happens.
I would be absolutely devastated if you told me that.
Yeah. You know the difference between what she was going through and what we do, though, is that you make requests and allow me to choose to fill them. You don't make demands. Mm-hmm. Love makes requests, not demands.
Can you give an example?
Babe, I would really like a new knife set. I love those boxes of chocolates. I would really like to have a hammock one day.
Yeah.
You want me to keep going?
The hammock's going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be delivered tomorrow.
I'm so excited. I want to take an afternoon nap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've made comments about the rooms of the house.
I have.
You've made comments about the shelves. You've made comments about the plants that are on the back porch. You allow me to fulfill needs without demanding that I fulfill those needs, which allows me to pick and choose the ones that I am able to take care of in the moment.
Right.
Sometimes that is something as simple as placing an Amazon order. Sometimes that means 3 hours of research. Sometimes that means that I'm going to spend the next 4 hours of my fucking day moving furniture. But it's never a demand. It's always a request. Just like when you're going, babe, is there anything I can do right now? Like, because you ask me that every day.
I do.
Most of the time, the answer is no. Sometimes it's, can you turn the light on? Sometimes it's, can you grab me a drink real quick? Mm-hmm. Because in the moment, I may be really fucking thirsty, but because I'm in the middle of something, I'm going to put that off, because if I have to break my train of thought to walk across the house, get a fucking energy drink or a glass of water and then come back, my train of thought's going to be gone. Mm-hmm. We can't even make it through an email without side railing. How do you think that would go if I had to walk across our 4,000 square foot house?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how many times I wake up, I get up to go do something and like end up in the kitchen somehow?
I sent a voice.
Why am I in this room?
I sent a voice message to our kid's stepmom yesterday, and I was like, this is so much faster than texting. I was like, why am I in my bathroom? Yeah.
I have found my car keys in the fruit drawer in the refrigerator.
Really?
Yeah, that's why my keys go to the same spot every time I walk in and out of the house. It took me almost a day to find those keys last time.
Yeah.
I had to get the other key out of my nightstand because I didn't know where my keys were. When you live a life that is active and busy and there's always something going on, those side rails and the unconscious actions will fuck you in the long run.
Yes.
Yeah, completely off topic and random.
Okay. Back into this?
Yes'm.
Okay. I looked at him and saw that he was so much more emotionally intelligent than I was. I've always thought I was the smartest in the room, and I have been doubting my husband and thinking I was better than him.
Damn.
That's a lot to admit.
That's rough.
There are people who are so ashamed of that, they would not speak that. They would die with that. Like, go to their grave with that information.
There's a whole lot of... That's a lot. That's a lot of realization.
Yes.
I'm willing to bet that after this conversation that their entire marriage is going to shift.
Yeah. Knowing that that was her mindset and that he still stayed with her anyway. I can't imagine what being put down every single day with somebody up on their high horse like that. Crazy. All along, he's been playing things way smarter than I could have seen. His introverted personality has given him the ability to see when others doubt him. He becomes people's assumptions, then sits back and waits for them to fail only to come running to him for shelter. I've done this to him so many times.
Okay, let's talk about that, right? Okay. We know that a man's job is to protect, provide, and lead. Mm-hmm. You cannot lead those who do not want to be led. Period. So a man like that, who is capable of leading, as she just said, because people run to him to fix the problem after they won't listen to him, or they have the assumptions that they have, why would he continue to try to do those things? He's obviously an effective leader, or people would not run to him for those things. Mm-hmm. This is going to change their marriage.
Yeah, it is. I thought back to the day I was saved by God. My exact words were, "We can be buddies, as long as you send me someone to teach me and lead me." I met my husband a week later, and I'm just now opening my eyes to the fact that he's been the man I asked God for all along.
Damn.
I just never let him. All the times I prayed for him to become the man I needed, yet he's been doing it all along. It's been me holding him back from being that man. In that moment, all I could do was smile at him in the midst of our painful discussion because I had such an overwhelming desire to submit and felt so much love for him. I stopped our debating and I admitted to him my doubts. I vocalized my acknowledgement of his abilities and I apologized for how I've been treating him and holding him back as the man and leader of our family.
Damn.
We both cried and just held each other.
Last night while we were recording episode 43, we had a conversation about be careful what you pray for. Because when you pray for patience, God is going to give you some shit that's going to make you have to be patient. Mm-hmm. It's going to make you work for it. You know, your spiritual growth is no different than going to the gym.
Yeah.
So it took some time for her to realize what was put there. Because had she gotten that right off rip, she wouldn't have been able to appreciate it.
Right.
She had to learn that whole process. That was you getting what you asked for.
Yep, your prayer has been fulfilled.
Yeah. That's wild.
That goes back to what do you do to deserve the person that, or to not deserve, but what do you do to...
No, it is. That's it, babe.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was the right word. Because now that she has this realization, she's going to be the woman that allows him to be the capable leader that she now knows he is. Mm-hmm. That is a deserve. Because before that, she didn't deserve to be led. She didn't deserve to have a man that was capable of doing those things because she was not capable
of appreciating it.
Right.
It would maybe take advantage of it.
Yeah. Deserve is definitely the right word in there. But how the fuck did this email change so much?
Massive shift, yeah.
Right?
It ends with,
I love this.
I thank God first over everything for opening my eyes, but I also thank you guys for continuing the podcast and stepping out to help others. It's annoying and stressful at times, and I'm sure you guys have wanted to give up. Thank you for not giving us. For us, for you, and for God. Yep.
Those who need to hear the message will hear the message. We told God when we started this podcast that we were going to go and let him run with it. And though we are going to face trials and we're going to face attacks and spiritual attacks and everything in between, until we no longer feel like we're being called to do this, this is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. That was the commitment that we made to each other and to God in the beginning of this. So I'm glad that people are finding their faith through us. And like, that's not the purpose of the podcast. This has never been about pushing religion.
It is a pleasant side quest.
It is definitely, yeah. Yep. I'm going to tie Dungeons and Dragons into my service speech.
Yeah?
Yep. That just hit me too. Sorry about the mowers, guys. Apparently they mow every single day here now.
I want to tell you a surprise I have for you, but I don't want to spoil the surprise, but it's a really, really good surprise.
Yeah, you should. I mean, you can do it now. There's people watching. I'm sure they would love to know. Or you can just wait and not spoil the surprise.
I'm going to wait and not spoil the surprise. I really want to, though.
Well, they just ran over something.
We are at 1.6 thousand still on TikTok.
That's crazy. You have more people on TikTok than we have on YouTube.
This is the highest and maintained it's ever been.
Should tell them to go. I'll go follow us on YouTube. We hit 134,000 this morning.
Holy shit.
Yep. 150 is the next number. We have 16,000 to go.
Are we done? Are we doing another one? What are we doing?
Well, you said you were in pain.
I am.
So let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Mowers are also right next to the building and super annoying, so.
All right. I'm ending TikTok.
Okay.
YouTube channel is the number 2 Be Better on YouTube. We do pop-up lives and all those good things.
We have to finish reading super chats.
Okay, so we're going to finish.
Yeah, end that anyways, though.
We're going to finish reading super chats. So if you want to continue watching, head over to your YouTube channel, number 2 Be Better on YouTube, guys. Thanks. See ya.
All right, getting back to the super chats just to finish this thing off. Man, those mowers are annoying as shit.
Before I ended it, it went up to 1.7.
Nice.
That's insane. Now I can smoke in peace.
I'm trying to find the last one we read.
I gained 1,300 followers.
Hell yeah. It's gangster. What do we got here?
Dope. Oh,
nope.
Jesus. My elbow failed me. I did what our son did last night. Plopped off that couch.
That's funny, yeah. Little man got introduced to He-Man last night.
He did.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Trying to find where we left off. Nope. Man, those mowers are loud as shit.
They really are. Oh, is everybody actually coming over from TikTok? Stop it. Look at you guys. Thank you.
All right. Did we read nope, that was the birthday one. We did read that one. We lived together, we read that one. That was provocative shit. Did I scroll? I must have scrolled way too far up.
Did you get Bender the Offender?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the last one I actually remember.
All right. So Zach said, man, I'm so tired. Today I could really use some To Be Better brew. You know, the coffee for people who have work to do. I like that.
I'm also very tired. I get it.
Should make a coffee ad. Coffee for the work, not for the workers, not the work less.
That's good.
We read that one because it was a $50 super.
All of you jumping over from TikTok, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
All right, found one we haven't read yet. Father-in-law lives with us but is constantly yelling and not respecting the rules we make. Husband tries but doesn't want to ruin the relationship. Solution. This is a simple solution. He's your father-in-law, not your husband.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the issue is here. If he's always yelling and not respecting the rules we make, he doesn't need to live with you.
Right.
It's your home. It's your castle. It's the only place on the planet that you are able to have pure peace. You treat your home like a sanctuary and defend the peace of the home at all costs.
This is exactly why family will never live with us.
Yeah.
Well, my family.
Any family. In the event that we ever let somebody come in and live with us or stay with us and that level of disrespect happened, you're out.
Yeah.
And like, I understand that there's a whole lot of things that can go wrong with having roommates and like people live with you because of eviction notices and shit, but like you can do a whole lot of things that are super petty and make it real hard for somebody to live in your home. Yep. PsyOps type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Kim said, I've noticed a pattern in women that they complain a lot about things that don't really matter. Men get a bad rap all the time. It's crazy to hear all the things that women complain about. It's sad. Imagine being a man. Sabrina said, as long as my man's life is just that extra inch of being easier, I will continue to pick up his socks, cook his foods, pack his lunch, lay out his clothes. Sabrina, Mike is a worker. You can see it in the man and the way he carries himself. So much respect for the way that you do that. I love everything about that statement.
You can see it in the way that he sits.
Yeah. Yep. Tiara sent $1. Thank you for that. Brianna Boyd said, I am 5 months pregnant with my first girl, 2 boys. How do I teach my daughter to know her worth when I struggle to know mine? Well, that's the first step.
Yeah, you can't teach something you don't understand.
Right. You lead by example. You can't lead from the back. So if you are spouting bullshit, kids are going to know that that's bullshit. Mm-hmm. They smell it like you would not believe. Their nose has not been desensitized by years of shit.
Yep.
So when you try that shit, they smell it like a fart in a car.
Mm-hmm. Our daughter is able to confidently tell people no for hugs and shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, full
don't play
chest. She
around.
gives 0 fucks.
First time that she met her great aunt, she went, you want a hug? And she was like, no, thank you. Turned around and walked away.
Yeah.
She was very impressed by that confidence.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's all the supers. We don't have anything else to read.
Neato.
Thank you guys that came over from TikTok. Everybody give us a follow on here because we do this live shit on YouTube on a regular basis. We do it twice a week, every Wednesday and Sunday night. Mm-hmm. We have lots of new content dropping. Oh man, the chat just went completely fucking nuts over here.
Over what?
I don't know. I just got...
I can't see the chat.
We're getting super chats.
Yeah.
Oh.
Michaela said, advice when work is causing long distance struggles. Is work the reason that you're long distance? Because if that's the case, the answer to that is to find a different career.
Yeah.
It's also important to know that you guys are going to have struggles every once in a while. Like you're going to have trials and like obstacles are going to be put in your way so that you can learn how to navigate them. Once you learn how to navigate it, those obstacles won't be a hard obstacle again. What's the phrase? Smooth waters never make a skilled sailor.
Yep.
Yep. That's fucking obnoxious, and I hate it. I'm gonna wait a second so that he can get away from the window. Because it's coming. It is absolutely coming through the mics.
Yeah.
I want to go out there and hit him with a fire hose. All right. Zach said, my wife and I have a manifesto, and then in parentheses wrote rules, that we both are unwavering on in our relationship. And I find that since implementing it, it has helped us tremendously keep the positives in the relationship. Do you have rules that you stick to? Yes, we do. We have been very vocal about having your expectations listed in the beginning of the courting phase.
Yeah.
When things become serious, so that there is no, I didn't know, or I'm sorry that happened. I didn't know any better. I won't do it again.
That's not how I took that.
Right. Yeah. You put that shit in writing. You guys both put it all down so that everybody can have a discussion about it, and then stick it to the fridge if you need to. Shit goes a long way. Big Danny said, I like the mower. It is, and it's pretty loud, LOL. I am not a fan of that.
Can you change it back so I can see the YouTube chat, please?
Oh, sorry, I forgot that was up there.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No.
You want to wrap it up?
Those of you who were here at the beginning and I read that little excerpt from the journal that I'm writing, what did you think about that? I hate that the chat's so delayed.
Yeah. How can I be a caring girlfriend without mothering him? Somehow I can't find the sweet spot. How can you even equate it as the same thing? Because I can tell you as a man, the last thing I've ever wanted is my mother.
Right.
So if you think that you're mothering him and you're calling yourself his girlfriend, how the fuck does that work? Now, are you saying that as mothering him, you're serving him as a woman? Because I don't consider my servitude to my wife as fathering.
Right.
I consider that being a husband and serving as a man. So, like, I can see how you would equate the same as a woman, like doing a womanly thing. Does that equate to gender roles? I'm so very confused as to why that would be a thing.
Sounds like some Ed Gein shit to me.
Sounds like what?
Sounds like some Ed Gein shit to me.
Yeah. Mercy said it was spot on, Peaches, and I look forward to its release.
Dope.
Oh, I missed it, but I hope I get an opportunity to hear about it in another live. These lives stay on YouTube, guys. You can always go back and rewatch this whole thing. Final super chat, and we're done. Tony Askin said, I will have to re-listen to your journal, read to answer that. I was doing paperwork and I missed it. Could you do a recap?
No, because I'm in pain. I want to get off of here.
All right. Guys, yeah, just watch from the beginning. Or go back and look for the garden intro, because she did post a 6-minute intro and it's part of it. Oh, wait, that's a different conversation.
Different conversation.
I'm wrong. I'm making shit up just to hear myself talk. With that being said, guys, oh, wait, one more super chat came through. I don't want to not read it. How do I get my email read? I really need advice. You send the email, make sure that it meets all the criteria, and then our screeners will see it. Mm-hmm. If it gets passed, then we will see it, and then we will read it. We are working on a way that you can pay us to expedite and do things like that again, because we did do that for a little while. The problem is just because somebody pays us to read an email, we're not going to read a trauma dump session.
Right.
We will refund the money and not deal with that shit, because we don't need the money, but we're not going to work for free on your time. Damn it, so many super chat. Peaches, hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Christian said, thank you all for y'all's hard work. I binge listened to y'all's podcast while working, sending all the positive vibes from East Tennessee.
I love Tennessee.
I really would like to move to Tennessee.
Me too.
We really need to do our vision board again, babe.
Okay.
I know that, like, maybe we just look for a second house up there. Maybe that's the answer to start. Maybe that's our small victory.
Okay.
Rent an apartment up there or something.
Yeah. Go up there for like extended weekends or something.
Yeah. Yep. Leave a vehicle there and just fly up and back, because it's only like a 3-hour flight. All right, guys. With that being said, remember you are the authors of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys. Bye.